The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this U.S. Open Champion Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. This program begins now.
Sports!
Are fantastic, and the Indiana Pacers last night said, listen up, NBA fans. I got good news for you. We are going to let this thing go to a 7-game series. We're going to let the Oklahoma City fan base, that is very loud.
Yeah.
And I learned that thousands of them are showing up at FBOs, which are private airports in the middle of Oklahoma City at 3:30 a.m. to greet the team whenever they're flying back from away games in the playoffs. And then they show up loud, very loud, call themselves Loud Town. And then they got these little smackers. Okay, little smackers. Feels like it's down there at Mississippi State. You know where they had those cowbells doing that entire thing. That feels like if you give a rompous crowd an opportunity to generate noise without much, that's a good. And then they can also, with the other hand.
You bet.
And they can, woo, woo. That's three different, and they do. That place was alive. And the Oklahoma City Thunder took it to the Indiana Pacers. Nothing was really falling. Needed some more to fall. Like every shot seemingly not falling for us, falling for them. And then it would be an ass beating of epic proportions by the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Jalen Williams goes absolutely apeshit, and Shea does what Shea does. And then Chet's doing this shit. I mean, the team with the fans and the whole, it was seemingly unbeatable last night. And the Pacers looked flustered. They certainly were out of sorts, and that has become a little bit of a problem against this Oklahoma City team at different times throughout this final series. But there was a chance last night. We got that thing within 2. We got that thing within 6. We looked at, I was watching that game thinking that the Pacers should be down about 30 at this point, just because how it's felt watching how everything has kind of gone. Yeah. And we're only down by 14, and it's like, wait a minute. And then you hear the announcers, which I think everybody, is excited about watching, just experiencing the internet's alive with the announcers are even saying they're only down 14 right now. This is NBA Finals. And instead, what ends up happening is what our eyes were telling us was accurate. Yep. And the Oklahoma City Thunder would win and cover yet again. So the sports books are batting 1,000. We eagerly await their projections for Thursday night's Game 6 here in Indianapolis, Indiana. They've been pretty spot on with what they've been thinking is going to happen in this. And if you're Stephen A. Smith, who is a believer in this Oklahoma City team, and I think he was unfairly judged for what he said at halftime, by the way. I think what he was saying was like,
taking out context a bit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there was like a quote where he definitely did say, like he's happy that Tyrese was injured, but he immediately afterwards said, because that's at least an excuse for how he played, which obviously Tyrese was not able to make his own shots, create his own shots. He did not have any points. It was clear that he was being kind of hindered by a clear injury. I'll be excited to hear what that injury is at some point. Right now, it's a calf soreness is being said. I think it was an ankle previous before that. He just obviously wasn't moving. In Tyrese's move, step back, okay? Step back. We see him hit that. There's a lot of guys that have a step back, obviously, and you have to have more moves in your bag. But if you're not able to be explosive, I think at a point guard position, it could be a little bit difficult. Not making excuses, just saying it seemed like he was going through a little bit with that right calf. TJ McConnell comes in and lights the world on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, TJ McConnell's bopping Wood out there. He's doing his thing. We had a moment or two where I thought maybe we're going to come back and do what the Pacers have done to not only the Oklahoma City Thunder in this particular series, Game 1, but also in the past to the Knicks, and we did it to the Cavs, and we did it to the Bucks, where we look like we're down and out, but then our conditioning, our cardio makes us come back late. And instead, Oklahoma City kept with the pressure, kept thumping, and they end up winning by 11 and take a 3-2 series lead in the NBA Finals with Game 6 happening right here in Indianapolis, Indiana at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. You know, Jalen and Shea became the first duo in however long, and one of the only duos to ever, I mean, they were magnificent. This team is very, very good. Coach Dag's brilliant. Seemingly always adjusts. Whenever we haven't figured out, no, we don't. Just like Coach Carlisle. Tricky Ricky even gets teed up early on letting these refs know he's not happy about it. Just a few hours after coming out and supporting Scott Foster, who was getting buried by everybody out there. This Oklahoma City team, for good reason, was the number 1 overall seed in the NBA. Don't look now. Pacers have them right where they want them.
Well,
yeah, I heard Miles Turner say it. Heard Tyrese Halliburton say it. Backs against the wall. Must win in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I like our chances, and also I appreciate the hell out of Oklahoma City treats their basketball team out there. That was wonderful to watch, and we'll see what happens on Thursday. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Whenever the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet. Fresh off the golf course for a good cause yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek J. Bowlers.
Gotta be back with you boys.
D-Butch, hey, it's great to have you. And obviously yesterday we were previewing a Indiana Pacers win in Oklahoma City. Instead, it was the complete opposite. It comes back here to Indiana on Thursday. We have Charania joining us in about 10 minutes or so. He had some looks, didn't he? Some expressions on camera that is getting a little bit analyzed about Kevin Durant and his trade destinations. Is he San Antonio? Is it the New York Knicks? Knicks aren't interested, I heard.
Wow.
People aren't happy. We shall see what Shams knows. We'll talk to him about it. But watching that game last night, Pacers never really seemingly got going.
Yeah.
TJ had a couple moments there where it looked beautiful, looked wonderful, had a little bit of juice, had a little bit of energy. But us losing by 11, I think for 3 quarters, you'd say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense from beginning all the way through.
Yeah, and it felt like the Pacers were down a lot more.
Yes.
Or should have been down a lot more. You know, TJ obviously gave him a bunch of juice, gave him a run there, but you know, we won't be able to win that game or this series if Halliburton isn't healthy and if he can't play to his full potential. As a player, you know you're not going to pull yourself out in the biggest moment in the championship series. So that will be on either the doctors or Coach Rick Carlisle to say, hey, you can't play, you can't go. We got to stick with the hot hand. But I think he'll find a way to push through. Backs are against the wall. You got a game, you got a chance at home to push this thing to a Game 7. But boy, this OKC team and Jalen Williams particularly had a beautiful, beautiful game all night long, but hopefully Hallie can bounce back with this soft tissue injury. When you start talking about calves, and I think Bob Myers during the halftime show, which I got some questions, concerns about the halftime show, but Bob mentioned the calf injury, how serious that can be, and obviously he was on the team with Kevin Durant.
You mean Red Panda?
I think they did a 40. Speaking of Misi and Red Panda, hit that 5 bowler.
10 out of 10.
We've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Yes.
Here.
Right here. Red Panda is an NBA Finals performer.
Yeah.
Red Panda brings the people to their 5 bowler.
no doubt.
Great anthem.
That's
No
a 5
doubter.
bowler. No doubter either the entire time. Sometimes she's got a eye to save one of those bowls. NBA Finals, no doubter.
Yeah.
Splash.
That was a swish with 5 bowls from her foot on a fucking 10-foot unicycle
How many
to her head.
How many years is this for Red Panda?
You're born with it. You're not. It's not even training.
I think since birth she was kicking bowls off.
How many, like,
she doesn't age.
it's probably what, her 40th finals?
She's like 478 or something like that, years old.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
I think when we had her, I think she was 4. Yeah, I don't. But that's the thing. She hasn't aged since she was 35.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That's Red Panda. That's Red Panda.
She's a superhero.
Think about how pumped she was whenever, or her genre of entertainment, whenever the NBA launches its 82-game season, and we need a 13-minute entertainment act that can happen on a basketball court. All those talents that there are. The bicycle bunny hop guy we see. The quick change couple, rest in peace, I believe. I'm not 100% sure.
The dog.
The dog,
The dog that spins on the wheel. The dog that jumps over the people. Red Panda. She's made a full career out of this entire thing. She debuted in 1993.
Wow.
Yeah, this is 32 years now of Red Panda dazzling cities around. But when she hits that, it's an immediate, it's in the background, I hear her music. Okay, you're talking about the halftime show. I think they had a 32-second hit, the first part. They're like, yeah, we're here, and this was the highlight, blah, 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 right back to a commercial.
Yeah.
And then they're back again, and it's all very quick.
Yeah,
I think.
they do that.
I think it's a very quick. We're trying to get a lot of commercials in there at halftime, obviously, so that we can kind of keep this game rolling whenever it gets back to it. So I think, it is a little bit close. But I hear Red Panda's music in the background. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Because we had a couple of decisions at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse, that I think some people were like, well, this is the finals. Are we doing the finals here? And then I see her hit the 5 bowler as clean as she did. I knew we were in for it. I knew we were in deep shit. I just hope that the Pacers are able to bounce back from that devastating performance.
Well,
what? Why are you being so negative over there?
Look, I don't want to be negative, okay? Because last night, I'm glad you guys got to see Red Panda because you heard it. I actually missed Red Panda because I had to put my volume at 0 with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter. But I will say,
that's very early.
With how good
the crowd was loud.
Very loud. Yeah,
hurt your ears.
It was kind of like white noise.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Sound machine.
It was a little too much. It was more of the broadcasters. But
I don't know how I feel about that. We need the. They had the.
It's illegal.
It's
illegal, right?
They had the bus. They had the super.
I saw a kid with like one of the cones.
Courtside.
Yeah, how about the baby? How about the baby?
Yeah.
I mean, cute baby. This baby, incredibly cute baby. Just right as we're shooting free throws, we got this wildly cute. Obviously going to go on to do great things, baby here. Mm-hmm. Just waving around in the background. Obviously, you're not going to make any free throws when you got a what is an 8-month-old? Is that 7, 8 months
Somewhere
old?
around there.
Right there.
It's cheating.
That is cheating.
His neck's still a bit wobbly.
It's cute, baby.
That guy, the dad, actually tweeted me and said the baby's first word was defense.
Yep.
Nice.
That's a great tweet.
Yeah, it was. What are you going to do?
I think his name is Matt Wells, maybe.
Wellesley?
Yeah, Wellesley. Good pop out of me out of Wellesley. Good seats there, too. I mean, he's right in high view. But that Oklahoma City fan base is insane. I think the Clappers, though.
Yeah.
I think the Clappers were very loud, which was good play by them. If that's allowed, that's a great play by them.
Clappers are great. It's over, though. You can't really.
And feel the pain bridge?
In Feel the Pain Bridge. Look, I mean, game 4 was in Feel the Pain Bridge as well. But
Great day.
Tyrese is hurt. Nemhard, I don't know what happened with Andrew Nemhard. Something did. Maybe he was looking at the baby. Maybe he was thinking about Red Panda. But it was a good run for the Pacers. It was awesome. This trophy staying here, unfortunately, on this side of the studio. And unless there is some miracle, and maybe Tricky Ricky has something, but OKC's too good. Anytime the Pacers hit a big shot and it got to 2, but anytime it felt like it got close, just as it felt as though it was a 30-point game early, it never felt that close because OKC would answer right away. Chet Holmgren's still kind of a weirdo, but Jalen Williams.
I don't think so.
He's a dog.
I think Chet and Wemby doing battles at altitudes that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
He's like.
Well,
You can be a weirdo and be good still.
Well,
Wemby
Wemby can
come back.
Wemby
Yeah,
can
Wemby's
levitate.
coming back.
Monks
I don't know
are-
if he's going to battle, by the way, now that
Yeah.
Monks
battle.
are very
No
good
battle.
at
I'd be a bit
basketball.
worried if I was a Spurs fan.
Don't
Why?
sleep on the Monks.
I mean, he might just retire next year and be like, I had more fun being a monk.
No, he's doing this to get better, get inspired. Remember, he was doing these interviews saying he wants to connect with the universe. Like, that is...
Yeah.
That's why we said this guy's a 97-year-old man.
Yeah.
Monks
I
can
know,
ball.
what I'm saying.
I don't know why we're doing that. If you were to YouTube right now, Monks playing basketball, like
Hooping.
he's getting good runs in. I don't think you should be worried if you're a Spurs fan or a fan of Wemby at all. And Chad, me saying he's a weirdo has nothing to do with his basketball skill. He's incredible. I just think sometimes he forgets who he is at times. But I think the OKC Thunder as a whole is just one of the better teams to really ever do the entire thing, especially with SGA and Jalen going off at the same time like last night.
Here's some Monks getting after it. Obviously, we've seen this on the internet in the past, and every time it pops up, you think to yourself, "Hey!"
Yeah. Skip to my left.
Wow.
With a spin. Obi Toppin had one of these last night.
Kyrie.
Where he took off from like the foul line maybe and did one of these from the side, bank in. It's like you're watching some of this
On
shit.
Chet.
Yeah, it was
incredible.
Yeah, because he had to go like this because Chet's so tall.
Yeah.
And then Hartenstein, I mean, his first dunk. I mean, they start that game, him dunking it right down the middle.
Yeah.
The place is already at a feverish pitch. Then you start that thing with a yam. It's like they ignited that place.
But if you told Pacers fans,
Yep.
you'd be 3-2.
Yep.
Game 6 in the finals with a chance to push it to Game 7, they'd be happy.
Sign 'em up.
So,
Right where we wanna be.
It should be loud. It should be a great game. I'm excited about it. But hopefully that fan Delbert, I believe his name was. Hopefully he doesn't make the trip because that OKC
Delbert?
fan, if he
Delbert Jenkins?
You're talking about Delbert Jenkins.
if he's in the building, we ain't got a shot.
I know. I don't know
They
if
shot-
enough
shot
people
him.
know who Delbert Jenkins is,
Well,
but I will say Delbert Jenkins looks exactly how you just thought of a human.
Yeah.
Right there. I said Delbert Jenkins, your brain thought of a human. That is Delbert Jenkins, okay? He is in the group text, I believe. And he was on the court, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, was he being honored, I think?
Yeah, he's like a top security advisor for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe.
And the president.
Yeah, he was the top during
Wouldn't
the,
doubt it.
People
what-
talk about
obviously.
the clappers. People talk about their fan base, how they got the T-shirts. Not enough people talking about Delbert Jenkins, enable midstream safety partner with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
When Delbert fucking Jenkins walks into the building, whatever he's supporting's winning.
Yeah.
And this has not been talked about nearly enough. Did we know they had a Delbert Jenkins
No,
in
we
that
did
building?
not.
No, I didn't.
Did we know they had the clappers in that building? No. I would like an investigation
Need it.
in the Oklahoma City Thunder home atmosphere. It's too electrifying. It's too daunting. It's too intimidating. Especially if you got fucking Delbert Jenkins roaming the sideline. And he needs to be in a suite. He needs to be kept 15, 20 feet away from the court.
At least.
Tyrese Halliburton slips early, we think potentially. That leads to a little bit more of that injury. Or maybe the injury happens and he falls, whatever the case. How do we know it wasn't Delbert Jenkins just sitting right there?
Spitting
underneath the
jaw
hoop?
onto the court.
Chance?
Probably SGA's personal security. Actually.
Delbert, we appreciate you, Delbert.
Hell of a cut.
Like
I don't think
Lou
that's-
Messi security. Yeah, he follows him up and down the court.
Is that who that guy's? I thought I saw a blur. That's Delbert.
Delbert
fast.
Jenkins.
That's
he
Delbert.
can move.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. All right, let's talk about some other news before we get back into basketball. The tickets for the Vikings-Pittsburgh Steelers game in Dublin, Ireland are going on sale. There's people waiting in a queue. This queue has been a topic of conversation because it showcases if the country is interested in the event or not, obviously. I think musicians do this, comedians do this. How many people actually want to buy the tickets versus how many tickets are for sale? And are you selling tickets? Is it soccer? Which I guess is not selling any tickets.
Which is weird.
The NFL in Dublin, up over 600,000 people waiting in the queue. There's different numbers that have been popping up, obviously, whenever you check in. It was at 620,000, I think, at one point somebody had it, 608,000. There was down at 500 and some thousand a couple different points. Nonetheless, there's not a 700,000 seat stadium in Dublin, Ireland. So I do believe they sold that place out and could sell out another place and another one and another one. Shout out to the Ireland fans being big-time football people.
Oh, yeah.
Legit. Shout out to McQuaid.
Shout out to McQuaid. He had it. He anytime McQuaid posts a picture of him spinning the NFL football that has the NFL Dublin game on it, you know shit's about to go down, and obviously that many people in. And this is why we're going to go to 18 international games or whatever, and they're just going to keep. It doesn't matter what country they do this in. This is
Germany had over 1 million, I think.
Yeah,
obviously Germany bigger country than
London. I'm sure. I don't know when the Spain game is going to sell their tickets. I guarantee it'll do the same thing. Like it just. I don't know how many of that are people that are from like the U.S. who are going to go, make a trip out of it. I think the wide majority is just people in these countries, like genuinely, they love the NFL. And we're going to see this just keep going bigger and bigger for the next 10 years.
We were told some of the England games, there was a lot of Germans.
Correct.
That were coming over to London for the England games whenever they were just being hosted in London, England, because that was the beginning of the international play on a regular basis. So now that it's moved into multiple countries, Roger Goodell, who no longer has a number 2.
True.
Congrats to Brian Rolapp.
Oh, yeah, Brian.
New CEO of the PGA Tour, number 2 in command at the NFL, is now running the PGA. I think that's good news for golf.
Yeah.
Feels like that's a deal maker.
Yep.
Let's get everybody.
Let's figure that out soon.
Let's do that. Yeah, we could do a couple, right? Celebratory events. Call them live.
Oh,
Especially if he's
got
got
it.
We'll do it. Get our guys in there. Do the
High
boop.
purse.
Then we get everybody in the bang, and then everybody's golfing together again.
Golf's great.
need it.
Do need it. Feels like businessman. If there is a deal to be done and they think it should be done, I believe this man will get it done. I believe he is a deal maker. I think he is a good deal maker, and I think everybody speaks very highly of him that works in his work. From what I've been told, I've had a couple interactions with him. Very bright. It's very obvious that you're talking to somebody with it's a talent there. Not a lot of people getting to that level. Think about what the NFL has become in over the last 20 years probably?
Yeah.
Well, this man has been there for the last 20 years. So been there, done that, seen that, and also has a immense passion for golf. I think he has said on numerous records, not able to work in there, obviously working at the NFL. I think it's a good play for the PGA, and I'm pumped that NFL people, are maybe getting a little bit of recognition in other places for what they're doing. So good luck to Brian, good luck to golf. And with that, let's go to a man who's giving subtle messaging via his eyes to cameras.
Yeah.
Tells, if you will.
Last night, Shump said that KD to the Spurs would be great. Keep an eye on the man on the left side of the screen's face, please.
I think he would only want to be playing for a championship, and that makes the most sense in Minnesota, right? But if we're talking about a basketball point, I think that him being in San Antonio and just having that coaching, having that organization behind him.
What's that?
You talk about keeping a guy healthy. You talk about making sure a guy doesn't play too many games, know the ups and downs at the end of the career. I think they just...
Well, that's from Spurs Interact, by the way. Shout out for finding that, seeing that, posting that, and then also tweeting us that you need answers. Let's get them. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's making sexy eyes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Charania.
Yeah.
Shams! Let's get right to it. What are you doing?
So what had happened was, first of all, shout out Starlink. I just want to say that right off the top. We have to give a lot of credit. I think that should be in every plane, everywhere. We need that on every single jet in the nation.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. I agree. If you're allowed to, though, me and Shams were FaceTiming earlier today before he was about to tell a great story, rudely interrupted.
Sure.
Guess you're not allowed to be on a phone call in the middle of flight. Starlink, though, great connection up there.
Great connection.
Nobody talks about it. Starlink.
You can do everything. You can do everything on Starlink.
Well,
you can. I might be giving up too much. They're gonna ban all this once I'm out of here.
No,
you can stream. You can do everything.
I was on a plane that had Starlink Wi-Fi. I think I talked about it immediately upon coming on the show. It was like every plane needs that. Every plane. It is unbelievable. You're talking about streaming like it's like you're just. It feels like you got 500 up, 500 down up there because I think you're closer. I don't want to do too much, but it feels like you are pretty close, cleaner, and it's. I think they're.
It might be better than Wi-Fi. It might be better than Wi-Fi. I might have to make that claim.
It's 1,000 times better on a plane. I don't know about on Earth down here. I'm talking about in a plane. It might be 10,000x better than the other models.
Okay.
No questions asked. Clearest FaceTimes I've ever had on Earth, in the sky, on a boat. I was on a plane with a Starlink thing. 8K, me and this person.
Shit,
Other side of the world.
They stunk when I had it in my house.
I think they're planes. I don't know about Earth.
Yeah, planes. Yeah,
we're talking about planes.
I'm sure Elon's.
Anyways, let's get to it. Your sexy eyes last night about the Spurs.
I don't know if we can go back and do a replay, while we're talking, but I want to break it down. So, by the way, I love the body language expert police. I'm sure this has happened to you before, Pat. I'm just getting all these tweets. Oh, he's saying he's going to be a Spur. So here's what's going on. This is my first time on the Hoop Stream ESPN show pregame. It was a great time with Brian Windhorst, Iman Shumpert, Vanessa Richardson. And I'm just gathering my surroundings. But, Shump, he's making some great points about the Spurs and Kevin Durant. And so, obviously, my antennas go up. But I'm a reporter. I'm an insider. And I'm an insider. My job is to know. And so, what I start thinking about is this possible? I'm not even listening to the great points he's making and why it makes sense for Kevin Durant to go to San Antonio. Oh my God! Look, I love how you guys paused on that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the right spot because you do look directly. He's looking right at the camera. He's looking right at the camera.
So yeah. I mean, I am. I mean, part of it is definitely I'm gathering my surroundings. My first time on this show. I gotta figure out: are they doing one shots? Are they keeping it on us? What's going on?
Oh, you're trying to find your camera. Okay, Sean.
Sure.
Sean's producing
out when
there.
I butt right back in, I know which camera to look at. But they were doing wide shots the whole time, which is fine.
Yeah, TV.
But I'm not going to lie. While this was going on, while Shump is making these points, I just think about, as an insider, is this possible? And I'm just okay, from all the conversations I'm having right now, all the information I have, is that Miami, Houston, and Minnesota is where the focus of the Suns conversations are for Kevin Durant. And from my understanding, right now the Spurs have not been the aggressive team for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has a list of 3 preferred destinations. It's the Spurs, it's the Rockets, and it's the Heat. But out of those 3, the Spurs have had a level of interest. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. Like, who wouldn't? But their timeline compared to the assets and potentially what it would take to go get Kevin Durant, they're just not on that time that Miami may be on or Houston may be on. Houston being a team that made it to the first round of the playoffs this year, has a veteran coach in Ime Udoka, great coach in Ime Udoka, has pieces that they feel, okay, we bring him in, we're winning a championship. You could make the case, and that's why when Shump was eloquently putting it, I'm like, you know what, this makes a lot of sense, but is it realistic? And the patience versus the actual assets, and I think they're really going to be stocking their assets for potentially a bigger move, bigger players, someone that may fit their timeline. But listen, the Spurs have had a level of interest. Would I say that they are among the leaders right now in that moment right there, even though I was gathering my surroundings? Back of my mind, I'm like, no, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But Shump made some great points.
Okay, so Shump, and also it's been reported that KD would like to go there, which you just reiterated there. So it all makes a lot of sense for the Spurs, especially with Wemby there and everything that they have going on and potentially going on a run. In the NBA, we would assume wanting them to go on a run. So Kevin Durant to the Spurs would make sense when people say it. I think we would all like it.
It would make sense, but Pat, like honestly, the Rockets and the Heat are more realistic as of right now.
So whenever you said
than the Spurs.
Whenever you said the timeline or the assets and everything like that, you're saying these other teams seemingly much more interested when it comes to what the offers are potentially going to be and when those offers are going to be made.
Yeah, like the players that it would take to get a deal done, the draft capital that it would take to get a deal done. Those Houston, Miami, Minnesota, a little bit more motivated, and there's a couple other wild card teams just a little bit more motivated potentially. San Antonio's got a ton of flexibility. First of all, they've got Victor Wembanyama, potentially the future face of the NBA. You have De'Aaron Fox. You have the number 2 pick in the draft. You have the number 14 pick in the draft. They have their first-round picks moving forward. What that organization has done, now obviously Greg Popovich has moved into the president role. Mick Johnson, first-time head coach, full-time head coach, starting this next season. But what that front office, Brian Wright as general manager, Mick Johnson as coach, they want to have a similar run and be set up similarly to R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich. And in their minds, they have a ton of assets to where if there's a guy that becomes available that's on that timeline potentially, you go out and make that deal. That's not to say that they don't have interest in Kevin Durant. They do. And potentially they would make an offer. But I'm sure they have discussed different frameworks. But what the other teams are offering is just a little bit more aggressive.
Got it. Understandable. You said that deal could happen in the next few days. I believe you said that on Friday. We're on Tuesday now. I think that would still be the fringe of few days, but is it still very active, I think?
I mean, at this point in these conversations, it's really just you're looking at a piece away from deals getting done on multiple different sides. From Miami's perspective, from Houston's perspective, Minnesota is the one wild card team that you think about. They made back-to-back Western Conference Finals, and I reported over the weekend Kevin Durant's 3 preferred spots: Miami, Houston, and San Antonio. No Minnesota on that list, so clearly there's not an interest for Kevin Durant to go there. But Minnesota wouldn't be the first team to trade for a player that doesn't want to be there. Obviously, the Raptors did it in 2018 with Kawhi Leonard. He didn't want to go there. He wanted to go back to L.A., but he goes to Toronto, wins a championship that year. So it's not something that's revolutionary. So from my understanding, Minnesota is still studying it. They're not out of it. They're trying to figure out, is there a pathway where we can make this gamble, bring Kevin Durant in, still be able to build a roster up? Because they've got Naz Reid's free agency potentially. They've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker's free agency, Julius Randle's free agency that they've got to deal with. And now, Pat, in the NBA, you talk about the second apron. You talk about the first apron. You talk about the luxury tax, which your Pacers will have to deal with this offseason. These are all major components of team building. And so I think Minnesota is going to keep studying it. But honestly, every day that goes by, I think it's more likely that they're going to, if they're involved here, it's going to be, seeking out multi-team trade scenarios, 3-4 team deals, whether they get Kevin Durant or whether they're just involved in a deal that's facilitating that. But Minnesota is still very much engaged and active in these conversations.
Okay, you said Miami as well. D-Butch, obviously, lifelong Miami Heat fan.
Yes, sir. Obviously, the 2 pieces we have there now, Tyler Hero and Bam, I would assume that they are untouchable when it comes to making a big move for KD. What type of pieces would we move to acquire Kevin Durant?
Yeah, those 2 have not been in any conversations, DB. So you and the rest of, I guess, Heat Nation can breathe a sigh of relief. But I mean, they in terms of tradable salaries, you have players like Andrew Wiggins, You have a Terry Rozier to make. That's really just to make money match. But for the Heat's perspective, they do have some young players that have value, right? Khalil Ware, you have Nikola Jovic, you have Jaime Jaquez. So out of those three guys, which player are you comfortable putting in a deal for Kevin Durant?
Any of them.
What?
Outside of Bam, I love those guys. I love them all. But outside of Bam and Tyler, yeah, do what we got to do, Rouse.
UD was going to be pissed if Khalil Ware got traded. That's
Yeah, no, he was. I think UD was going to throw some hands if I told him Khalil Ware's in this deal.
I like
he has our back, by the way. Shout out UD, great teammate. But I think
he was. He was tampering a little bit.
He was not recruiting.
Yeah, he was definitely tampering a little bit.
He was just talking about the program and what they were providing. He made some great points. The Spo being there, but obviously the structure being there. But yeah, keep them coins coming in.
Yeah, we'll see. Kevin Durant signed up for no chocolate chip cookies at this stage?
I doubt it.
We're talking about Kevin Durant here, though. We're talking about a guy who's about to turn 37 in September. The season that he just came off of scoring the ball, how efficient he's playing. I mean, I think talk to teams, and I think as well, he's probably got 2 to 4 more years really at this level potentially, barring injuries, right? I mean, even though he's at that age, his game is aging gracefully. So if you're a Miami, especially we saw what Orlando did with Desmond Bain. If you have a chance in Miami to bring in Kevin Durant, you already have Tyler Hero, you have Bam Adebayo, you build that team out the right way, keep 1 or 2 of the young players like a Khalil Ware, and maybe you put another young player or 2 in like a Jovic or a Jaquez. Then you're really looking at a situation where, okay, we can compete in the Eastern Conference, and we can give ourselves a legitimate chance. Or is Miami waiting for another star player to become available? We'll see, but they are still somewhat of a factor in these conversations.
All right, well, we shall see if Rouse gets back in the dance if the Miami Heat are able to get the trade done. Sounds like there's some competition. Doesn't sound like the San Antonio Spurs are keeping up with Houston, Miami, or Minnesota.
Shams dropped a little nugget.
Yeah, Shams just dropped a little piece of information.
What'd he say?
Well, when he said, KD, if he's not available, maybe another big star, maybe another big name. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. He
said that also for the Spurs gearing up for a big move, but, maybe on their time.
Yeah, so who's he?
Who are these people? Is this the most crazy?
You got to be patient. You got to be patient. You saw De'Aaron Fox became available. They jumped at it. Who could that next player be?
You tell us.
Yeah. Grizzlies, Ja.
Oh,
we don't know yet.
Triple J. Is it Ja?
That player's not available yet, Pat.
Yet. Celtics.
Sorry, we'll get back. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Senior NBA insider at ESPN, Charania, you're the best.
We're getting better at reading his
shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like Rap, we got his shit. Shefty, we got his shit. Shams, he's developing his shit.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've seen him since
so young in the game.
Baby insider to now the senior insider.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride alongside Shams.
True.
That phone call got cut off very quickly on that plane.
You got to watch some of these flight attendants.
Why?
You just got to. I know
they got a lot of power.
I know you travel differently these days, but I'm out here in these commercial streets, and they do have power. Look, hey, you got it. It's kind of like arguing with a coach. You got it. You can't be right in those situations.
I understood it.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now.
What?
How do you
I don't want to hear the guys next to me phone conversation.
Yeah, well, he had earbuds. He was speaking low, but you're right. He was talking. I was on a flight over in Japan, and me and Chuck Pagano and Anthony Costanzo and DeQuell Jackson and Pops, Micah, we're having a great time on this plane. Mm-hmm. We're pretty boozed up, might add. Only Americans on the flight. We're heading down to Okinawa. Only ones. Sitting first class, 2 biggest assholes on a plane. No questions. Actually, literally and figuratively. And we hit a little turbulence, and we're just laughing, having a good time because we can't understand anything that's going on anywhere. The written word, can't understand. I have no idea what it is. The speaking of everything, can't understand any of it. We're hitting all this traffic. And then all of a sudden, this flight attendant comes up to us and shushes us. Individually, each of us. Shh, 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 shh. And then sat down. And I've never laughed harder in my life. And then I said, okay, you got it. And then we all shut up. And then Chuck couldn't hold it in. Chuck was like laughing. And then she comes back and hits us another round of shushes. I guess.
Individually again?
Yeah. She parceled us into 2 groups because I was in the middle section. They were in the side section.
So you got 2.
So it was a 2 shusher after a 6 shusher.
Sure.
And I guess talking on planes not a thing. I guess that over there, definitely no noise is being made. We did one of these. Go down. Take back off.
Touch and go.
Jeez.
Yeah. Whoa. Japanese, they're speaking.
Oh, so you had no clue.
No clue. What what just happened? All blinds are closed. We have no idea. Pretty boozed up. Go back up. That was one of the wildest experiences of my life. Biggest takeaway, though, 6 shushes. One woman. Shut us up completely.
Good shushing.
It was unbelievable.
You didn't speak on the subway either, right? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, because I was trying to have conversation. There was no talking in subway either. Yeah. I was trying to learn about these people.
Very, very, very respectful society.
Yeah, why don't you be like that on planes? Sham's do that too. Sham's in there laughing and joking around.
Can't have.
Yeah.
Joining us now.
Sham's Japanese?
What's that?
Shams isn't Japanese, so different.
Shams is not Japanese, though.
I don't think so.
You never know.
No, he's from Pakistan.
I think he is, actually, right?
Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah, he told us that the other day.
Yeah.
Shams is a dog. Has worked his ass off. Proud of him. Speaking of dogs, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday at the College World Series, magic happened. There was lightning in a bottle. That bottle, one man who pitches for Arkansas. For the 3rd time in the history of the College World Series, a no-hitter was thrown by this man. Ladies and gentlemen, Gage Wood.
Yay!
How you doing, Gage?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Just talking about plane etiquette over here. Having a good conversation. How are you, brother? What a day yesterday. Did you get a chance to look back and enjoy all of it yet? Or how have you kind of taken in the history that you created yesterday by throwing absolute gas for over 105 pitches over there in Omaha?
It's pretty surreal right now. Hasn't really fully settled in or anything yet, but I don't know. It's crazy. My phone still hasn't quit blowing up, so I mean, it's pretty cool.
Well, we appreciate you taking time to chit-chat with us, especially after the wave of emotions I could imagine you and the boys had last night and probably carried into the morning. A lot of history's on the line. You've already made some history of your own. Let's talk about you. Yeah, that moment right there, awesome. Okay.
Yes.
In the 8th inning, I believe, a batter called for time. Yep, here it is. And they were zoomed in on you. And you are how I would hope somebody who is in the middle of a fight or a physical sport would react. Felt like you felt challenged by the buddy and disrespected. When you talk about being in the zone, then your boys are like, yup, let's get this thing going, you know? Like, when you're in a zone like that, when do you know? And are you always the guy that is willing to fight the batter if they would like to, which is what it felt like yesterday?
Yes, exactly what you said. I felt like it was kind of a challenge. You know, I feel like everyone in that ballpark knew it was at stake right there. After I hit that guy on the foot, I wasn't going to lose the other part of that game that I wanted. And when he did that, it was basically I feel like he was challenging me, and there was no way I was not winning.
I love everything about that. The commentator was like, look for the fastest fastball that we've seen all day. Because most pitchers, I feel like, are very cerebral. You know, feels like they have their routine. They're kind of robotic. Watching you yesterday with the boys was fantastic. And then Jeff Passan says, like, hey, Gage Wood could and did make himself some money with his performance in Omaha. Are you and the boys a tight group, a jovial group? It looks like a team that I should be a fan of because the way everybody was kind of rallying in your energy.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's in it together on this team for sure. You know, we love each other. And, I mean, it hasn't been easy this year. We've had a lot of firsts happen in this program since I've been here, you know, losing 3 series in a row, missing 8 weeks of season, a lot of other key injuries, you know. And this group of guys just wants to keep playing together. So yesterday was really special, and I think we're gonna put on a show here coming days.
Yeah, you already have. Just so you know, you'll be remembered forever was the tweet that I put out because they'll have to talk about you literally forever. I loved your response too. This is how you responded immediately after the game, after being the 3rd player ever to throw a no-hitter.
You just threw the 3rd no-hitter in the history of this event. How do you describe your emotions?
I shouldn't have hit the guy. That's it. That's all I got to say.
That's one of the greatest responses I've ever heard. Hey, man, you just did something that only 3 people in like 100 years have ever done. Well, I made a mistake. How did you not let that one mistake lead to another? I heard you just say you hit the guy and blew the one thing, but you didn't want to lead it to the other. Is it an every pitch mindset that you have, every inning mindset? What is kind of your focus when you hit the mound?
Yeah, I mean, after that 7th inning, it was really starting to like come to my mind, and I was just telling myself like one pitch at a time, and it's kind of like that throughout the whole game, you know. But after that happened, I knew I had to just figure it out, and I knew I had to move on and just keep pitching because it was still, I mean, it was only a 3-0 ball game. And, I mean, you give a team any hope in a game like that, and, I mean, you may be going home. So I had to figure it out and move on. And that's what I did, and it ended up working out for me.
Yes, it did. It was awesome to watch, man. We were here in Indianapolis with no ties to woo. Hey, Suey! We're not going to call the Hogs too many more times. I know you're supposed to do it like 10, 15 times there. I don't know if we have time. We have no allegiances to your baseball team. We were watching you, I think around the 4th inning is when there was like an alert is happening. And then all eyes I assume everywhere that was watching you do your thing, to see you complete that and have the mental toughness to get through it all, especially after like a self-inflicted error with the hitting of the batter, was beautiful for sports as a whole, brother. You need to know that. We are very, very pumped for you and your future, and what you did was great for sports as a whole. Now, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Gage, obviously no-hitter is incredible. You're only the 3rd guy to do it in Omaha. But for me, I mean, 19 strikeouts is absolutely fucking absurd. Obviously, that's a 9-inning record at the College World Series. At what point did you realize, like, holy shit, these guys can't touch my fastball. They can't touch my curveball. And have you ever had your stuff working like that in your life before, or did you just feel invincible yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I felt a little invincible. I really didn't even know that I struck out that many guys. I didn't know it was even close to that. I thought maybe it was, 10 to 12. It didn't feel like they were just striking out that much. But then, I mean, innings stack up, strikeouts stack up, and then after the game, they said 19, and I was like, "What?" I didn't know. I just knew it was a no-hitter after the game.
Wow, that guy threw a hell of a game. That was me. Holy shit, man, that's wild. Yeah, you talk about feeling invincible. We watched you walk off the mound one time, and you had this billionaire strut. It was like, I love this guy. Yeah. I actually I tweeted the Colts to sign you just to play any position.
Smart.
Did you play other sports growing up? Always baseball.
Yeah, I played basketball, football, and then later on in high school, I had picked up golf.
It makes sense. You look like just a classic competitor. And I think that's why I enjoyed watching you pitch so much, just because like you were doing it. And then in the 8th inning, when the guy calls for time, and your reaction, instead of being scared for the moment, it wasn't that you were scared for the moment at all. It was the complete opposite. And what you said about, oh, this guy's challenging me, like we all immediately saw that that's how you viewed it. We're like, yes, like this is how you want competitive people to do. And then to show up and deliver, absolute dog. Now, with that being said, you seem to be a guy that can handle everything. Did the team treat it that way? Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Gage, it sounds like you didn't know how many strikeouts you had, so I assume some of your teammates or managers weren't really coming up to you in the dugout, letting you know where you were at. Did you kind of stay away from everybody when you do pitch? Is it one of those situations where, hey, don't talk to me, I'm locked in, I'm in the zone, or is it more, jovial on the sideline? Because from what you said right there, it seems as though you're kind of like a, hey, if anyone talks to me, I'll feed you a fastball right to your beak.
No, during the game, when I'm pitching, really it's just, especially yesterday, it was so hot. I was just focusing on like hydrating, just getting a lot of carbs in my body. Our nutritionists and doctors do a great job of like making sure that I'm getting fueled properly in between innings and everything. But the guys really they're on the dugout wall cheering, just trying to get the offense going and everything. But the guys don't really talk to me much other than when I'm coming in between innings or going out there, telling me, like, go get another big zero or something.
Yeah.
But after though, it was, I mean, all the emotion, all the congrats and everything. And, I mean, that was just an awesome moment to share with my guys. I love them to death. So, I mean.
Looked like a team that was very together. And I appreciate that your team is where it is right now. Now, you take on the winner of LSU, UCLA, I believe. Next, as the College World Series rolls on in Omaha. Tone has a question for you about the next time we get to witness a little bit of a Wood electricity.
Yeah, Gage, I was wondering, because you guys have the one loss already, so obviously every game here on out is everything. It's a win or die situation. How many days rest do you need? Could you be called on in a a short rest situation for an inning or two, or how are you guys preparing to move forward?
I mean, considering it was 119 yesterday,
what was it?
119.
Holy, thank God we didn't go to that. No, I mean, it would have been good to see you, obviously. It would have been good to see 119?
Pitch.
Oh, shit, I thought degrees.
No.
Oh, sorry, I was talking
no.
in the back there. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
He'd have been,
talked about how hot it
he'd
was.
been throwing 130 miles an hour if it was
Jesus
119
Christ.
degrees.
Okay, got it. Sorry. I thought you were saying it was 119 degrees. Fuck. I was about to say, thank God. All right, sorry about that. 119 pitches still outlandish. Sorry, buddy.
But that was the most pitches I've thrown in my college career. Topping a couple weeks ago was 89, so I'm a little sore today, but we'll see how we get going later on in the week, and we'll see how big adrenaline plays in. But, I mean, if there's a moment where I need to go in there and get the job done, not going to let them not put me in.
Love that. Gage Wood calling himself out to the mound. With that being said, to get ready for the game, there's probably some sort of routine. Go ahead, D-Bugs.
Yeah, Gage, I know athletes are pretty superstitious. What's the pregame routine for you? What type of music do you listen to? Is there anything that you have to do before you're going to go out there and take the mound?
I don't listen to any music.
Psychopath.
Really just get up. I make sure that I, put the right stuff in my body. I don't eat a whole lot of like sugar or anything, no fried stuff, at least 5 days before the start. And I just make sure I got the right electrolytes, nutrition and everything. And it's really just in my mind, knowing that I can do it and go out there and just get the job done.
5 days, no fried stuff?
I really don't eat fried food really anyways, so.
What are we eating? What are we eating on day, David? We got acai bowls.
Gator,
Big acai bowl guy. I love those.
Okay, so acai bowls. Are we doing a lot of smoothie stuff, or what's the protein?
Protein shakes, but I eat a lot of steak.
Hell yeah.
Just straight steak. We got taters too. We got do taters on the side there. We meat and carbs there, protein and carbs, or what do we got going on?
Yeah, usually it's rice or like potatoes or something like that. Fruit, honey. I usually have a lot of honey and fruit in the mornings.
You talked about the nutritionist there on staff that has everything figured out. Is that? I assume that's a massive key to the Arkansas baseball team. It seems like you've really talked about it. No fried foods for 5 days beforehand. No fried foods at all as a college player. Awesome. Love your commitment. Acai bowls, talking about rice and everything. It sounds like you're measuring. Are you guys measuring stuff in this?
No, I don't. I eat whatever I want, I mean, I burn it off usually every day, so.
Dog.
Weapon.
No music.
So it's good steaks out there in Omaha, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Omaha steaks.
We talking about it raw, I think.
Yeah, they have great meat. Nobody beats their meat.
Well, I said steaks.
What's that?
Steaks.
Steak is
You having
meat.
some of the Omaha meat out there, Gage? You've been eating some Omaha meat?
After the game, me, my family, and some family friends went to Texas State, Brazil.
Oh, love that. Speaking of your family, we watched your family watch you do your thing, and then I just saw the tweet. The reason why I thought it was 119 degrees because I saw this tweet that Jack the Longchamps put out, and it was you running over immediately after the game and tossing the game ball to your dad. Like such a beautiful moment, especially in the sports world, because the amount of hours I assume that you two and days and lifetime together that you've spent around baseball and sports as a whole, that's a beautiful moment. What was your dad's reaction last night as you guys were eating a little meat over there in Omaha? What was the messaging from your family to you? I assume the immense amount of pride they have to have in their boy for doing something that only two others in the past have ever done before.
I think they were more excited than I was. I mean, they were both crying. I even had some family friends, their parents. One of my best friend, his dad, said he was just bawling after the game after I concurred the no-hitter. But, no, it's awesome. A lot of hours spent with that guy. Whether he was driving me when I was younger to practice, hours away, hours back, late nights, school nights. He was going to work early the next morning. And even when I got older, just traveling the country, spending all kinds of money on me to chase my dream. And now here I am. And, I mean, my life kind of changed after one outing.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little teared up thinking about the relationship and what you just said about your dad. I had a dad who did the same thing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And we're happy you all got to experience what you experienced yesterday. And it only happens because of all your hard work. Never forget it. You earned that shit yesterday. You didn't just fall into that. Can't wait to see what you do next. And thank you for electrifying the entire country with your Arkansas baseball yesterday.
I appreciate you having me on here.
Just real quick, though, Gage. What are you throwing here? What are you throwing here, bub?
Time out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fastball. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. That's a dinger.
Yeah. See ya squaring that one up. Yeah, right. I'm getting bad wood on Gage Wood's ball, ladies and gentlemen. Arkansas legend and a man who will be talked about forever at the College World Series. Have you swung by Rocco's? No, probably not. Nutrition. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Jello?
No Jello?
Skeens is in town. You might want to ask him some stuff.
Yeah. Will you talk? Who are some? Do you talk to pitchers? That's a good question. Do you have to talk to
Pirates?
I mean, I know a couple guys that are in the big leagues from Arkansas, and I talk to them. But no, I don't really talk to anyone other than them.
Respect. Do your thing. Good luck on it all, ladies and gentlemen. Gage Wood.
Yeah, Gage.
Yeah. Whenever he said 119, I heard him say hot. Then I saw a video down here of him giving the ball to his dad. Then I heard 119 because he said earlier it was really hot, so I was trying to stay on my hydration. 119. I was out in Arizona last week or whatever. It felt like it was 150 degrees. I have no idea how it's starting to get there.
Oh yeah,
we're starting to get there everywhere in the country.
These next few days, so here in Indy, Thursday to Sunday is basically 90s every day.
Dude, it's getting thick too. It's getting thick. That Omaha, yesterday, that sums up, I think, the College World Series.
Yeah.
Just so electric. Like the outing, the team, the player, the way he acted. Like, you very rarely see baseball players doing the shit he was doing. And that's one of the moments. That's probably going to be, I don't want to say it because there's still time for more moments, but that's going to be the one that is going to carry into next year's, marketing. That was beautiful in Omaha over there.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that was in an elimination game too. That's what's kind of gotten lost in all this is they had to win, and he threw the best game in the College World Series in the last 60 years, and it was. I mean, his. Obviously, he made a shitload of money yesterday.
Yeah, Jet said that as well.
He was going to get drafted high no matter what. I mean, he was touching 98, 99 with his fastball all day. He had a good
on the 109th pitch.
Yeah, exactly. So but to go out and just thoroughly dominate like that, like I said, no hitters are crazy impressive. Obviously, that's why it happens so little. But to throw a no-hitter and striking out 19 guys, I mean, just the law of percentages. These guys have seen him time and time again, and you'd think a couple of these guys would be able to get a beat, and he was unhittable, clearly.
Perfect game, though, puts him in untouchable status. Is that why?
Yeah, without a doubt. But, I mean...
No, still insane.
Yes. And, again, like I said, the 19 strikeouts, in my opinion, is by far the most impressive part of this.
I guess there was a 20 strikeout game that had 15 innings in it, though.
Correct.
There was extra innings, so somebody continued. So there's a clause, a couple of them that can't be considered this, whatever. In a 9-inning game, 19 strikeouts, absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
And I like that he knew it. I like that he was walking out there with conviction. I wish more pitchers would do that. Remember there was a time a couple years ago where the batters started flipping the bats more and the pitchers were getting pissed off because it was the transition era of the batters starting to celebrate more. And we started seeing some real heat between the pitchers and the batters. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
I like there to be a little because we're trying to beat. This is the actual game, right? This is the whole fucking game. I'm trying to beat you. You're trying to beat me. So I like whenever there's somebody that's a little bit outside of what I normally see and then show up for it. Like him completing that game. Good work, dude. And then his dad and his mom, us seeing him the entire time. I didn't even see the baseball toss to him. That had to be so emotional. You talk about his parents crying. It's I could see why.
Day after Father's Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
So much. What a great Father's Day gift.
Hell yeah. That's it.
JJ Spaun had quite a Father's Day.
Yes, he did.
He'll join us in about 40 minutes or so. Can't wait to chit-chat with him. Let's go to some NFL news that has happened around the league. Let's start right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Anthony Richardson's shoulder is going to be okay. Just needs some rest. Obviously, felt some soreness, I believe, in his shoulder. Got checked out, I assume, by the Colts doctors. They said, we're not seeing anything that would require surgery. Gets a second opinion from Dr. Neil Elitrosh, who's out there in Southern California. He is a noted surgeon. I think he's got the shoulders, knees, Achilles, and toes.
Yep.
Achilles and toes. I think the shoulders, hips, maybe even, and Achilles and toes. Achilles and toes. That's what Dr. Neil Alatrosha is the expert in.
All over.
Everything. He does the whole body. Did his shoulder surgery. I guess gets a second opinion from Dr. Neil Alatrosh. He says there's no further surgery that's required in his eyes, just some rest and recovery. So that's good news for Anthony Richardson being healthy going into camp. Does worry me a little bit, though, that we missed out on a bunch of reps in practice for something that doesn't require surgery. So I'm still torn on how this is going to go, but I'm pulling for the young guy to find his best ball by the time training camp starts, D-Bush.
Yeah, you're in a quarterback competition. You obviously do not want to miss reps at this point in the season, but, I guess he's been extremely cautious. So got five weeks or so before they show up to training camp. And hopefully he's full go, 100%, because health obviously has been a huge issue for him in reps. I mean, you talk about all the way from the high school level. That's kind of been the story about Anthony Richardson. Can he stay healthy?
He's been too naturally good.
More football. Yeah, I mean, and that's why you get drafted, number 4 overall. But we all know, you can only ride that wave so long. You got to get out there and produce. And they brought in the guy, they paid the guy, Daniel Jones, to come in and compete. And he's been getting the reps. Had a chance to catch up with head coach Shane Steichen yesterday and some of the other coaches. They're pretty excited about how things are going up to this point. I'm sure most programs are. So I'm optimistic about the boys as well.
Could you imagine if he would have said, I hated the work we got done. It's rough. I don't like where we're at. Don't like where we're at one bit.
Vibes were high. And Tyler Warren, had eyes on him. I know we saw him play against Notre Dame.
Yeah,
the Orange Bowl, and big son bitch.
He's
Can't wait to see him in the coach.
Daniel Jones is gigantic. Anthony Richardson is gigantic. We got a lot of guys that can move that are gigantic. What's that?
Pitt's big.
Yeah, Pittman Jr. is big. Got a big team that can move. Yeah, hopefully this year we're able to win some games. Steelers and Deshaun Elliott have agreed on a 2-year, $12.5 million extension with $9.21 million in guarantees. Seemed like this was an overwhelmingly positive signing in the eyes of Yinzers and Steelers fans and also football people alike. Now, the TJ Watt deal still sitting out there. When will that get sorted? We shall see. Missed mandatory minicamp, waiting for a new contract. Everybody's just assumed that was going to take place. In the meantime, Steelers signed Deshaun Elliott. Did we know this was happening? Did we know negotiations were taking place?
I did not. He came in last year as a free agent and exceeded everyone's expectations. He was really good for the Dolphins, but he was awesome last year for the Steelers, playing in the secondary all season long.
D-Butch, good player here.
Very good player.
$9.21 million in guarantees.
Yes, very good player. Got him at a very good value if you're Pittsburgh. And the thing I've heard about Deshaun Elliott is he is a brilliant football player. So that's what you need, especially with the Steelers, who had some big issues coverage-wise late in the season. So hopefully, bringing him back will be a big deal. Minka needs a big bounce-back year, in my opinion.
Excited for the Steelers. A lot of storylines around it. Will TJ Watt be there when training camp starts? We shall see. Shout out to YouTube TV. They sponsored this first hour. YouTube TV gets avid sports fans to feel more at ease, knowing they have access to all their favorite sports and live TV in one app. Right now, you scan this QR code. You can get YouTube TV for $59.99 per month for 2 months. That's a great deal.
Great.
That's like 3 coffees on DoorDash.
That's it.
Yeah.
I need to stop with that.
No, I know.
I need to continue, though, with YouTube TV. Hour 2 is on the other side with JJ Spaun, Peter Schrager, AJ Hawk, and more. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric in Brookings.
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who is my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not what we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. Oh! High Daniel Russo!
Wax on, wax off, knee to the face.
World Series.
Go, yes!
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life bet against that ball. Oklahoma State is the winner here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Vinatieri School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave.
Coach has the.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this U.S. Open Champion Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us. We're incredibly lucky for that. The NBA Finals is now at a 3-2 series score. After the Oklahoma City Thunder get a massive win over the Indiana Pacers last night in Oklahoma City, where they had a bunch of smackers and clappers and they were loud. And the Oklahoma City Thunder fan base certainly lived up to its hype of being Loud Town or Loud City. I forget what it is. Loud Town, maybe?
Loud Town.
Loud Town.
Loud Town?
They call it Loud Town because they're loud down there.
Okay.
And those little smackers and clappers are certainly loud. And the way that these boys were playing was certainly something to cheer for. Not only Shea and Jalen, but Chet, Hartenstein, the entire crew with the Dags-led mastermind plan to make more shots than the Pacers last night. Pacers were flusters. The Pacers were out of sorts. Tyrese Halliburton ended up either re-aggravating an injury or hurting himself again, depending upon if it was like, that's outrageous. That is outrageous what's going on. And it was like that all night for this unbelievable Oklahoma City team. Now, I've obviously had my bias towards the Indiana Pacers team. I would like to see the Indiana Pacers win the title. I would enjoy having a parade right here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. This place has been yearning for it. The Pacers have never won an NBA title. You think about Reggie Miller, you think about all the magical moments of the Indiana Pacers, you think about how the city views the Indiana Pacers as the team that represented the city for a long time. They've never won a title. If they were to win one, this state would be upside down. It'd be a wonderful thing. And the way this team plays, it'd be beloved forever. But they've run into a team in Oklahoma City that has the same exact narrative, the same exact mantra, the same exact motivation. A small town that loves their teams, never won, and now they got the guy. That place was upside down. And the Thunder never relented. And they just beat the hell out of the Pacers on a Monday night. And now it's 3-2 coming back to Indianapolis on Thursday. Gainbridge Fieldhouse will be rocking. And that MVP of the NBA could hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy right here on Thursday night. But if I know Tricky Ricky Carlisle and that Pacers team, they're going to show up and they're going to extend this thing to 7. And then whenever it gets to 7, they're going to say, you thought we were dead.
Yeah.
And then the NBA is going to say, thank God this went to a 7-game series. We love an extended series. If this was just a blowout like everybody was calling for Oklahoma City at the beginning of this series, that'd be a waste for everybody. This is the right matchup. These are 2 best teams. And maybe the Pacers go on to win this thing in 7.
Well,
maybe.
There's a chance, though, that they lose on Thursday.
Sure.
There's a chance they would lose Game 7. But nonetheless, every game has had a point where both teams could have won. Even though it looked like and it felt like they were down 30 points, they were still in it the entire time. Tyrese, we need an update on that injury. Rick Carlisle needs to make sure he lets T.J. McConnell run wild.
Yeah.
If T.J. McConnell wants to run wild,
He's running wild.
kind of let him do his thing. And the boys will figure it out. Great series. It's 3-2. Caruso's outrageous right now. And this Oklahoma City Thunder team is looking to be historic. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. What is that?
This is the New York Atlas of the PLL. It's one of those weird things where it's hot and muggy outside, and we do keep it a little cool in here. I was nipping out a little bit this morning, and I was just like, you know what? This kind of doesn't feel the best, so I'm going to go into the locker room and just see what I can find. And lo and behold, I got this bowl just staring at me. And I said, all right, fuck it. I'll wear that. So, New York Atlas.
Go Atlas.
Go get it.
Go Atlas.
Little cool. I typically I enjoy keeping it cold.
Me too.
It has been so cold in this. I've never had any experience like it.
You know,
my feet are cold. Like, I understand if people's hands or nose or ears get cold. I have socks and shoes on, and my feet are cold. So I forget at one point or during this.
No way. Now?
Right now, as we speak to you, my
There was
feet.
like 2 days, maybe yesterday. It was a little chilly at one point. I actually went over and looked. I'm like, it's a little chilly in here. It's a little chilly.
You did?
Today, yeah. I felt it.
That's when you know it's
Well,
a
and
little.
it really hits you in the face when, like, you go get your food and it's like, I'm wearing this and it's just like immediately I start sweating and it's like 88 degrees out there and you walk
Now you're
back in
moist.
here. Exactly. And then you're all wet and then boom, you come back in here and it's a brisk 55 degrees and it just immediately, freezes on you.
I will say the AC works.
It works.
Oh, it works.
It certainly does.
all 10 of them.
Chuck Pagano.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever did the air conditioning, they know what they're doing. They got 2 jackets on. Like to keep it chill. They keep it alive a little bit out here. It has been working really well, though. We got them cleaned and everything this particular year, so we make sure it's colder.
Yep.
Keep it alive.
We'll try to warm it up. Yeah.
Morgues are cold, actually.
I went to a Letterman show one time in New York. I run hot. I like it cold. It is a constant, conversation at the house. I think it's easier, to put clothes on than if you just.
True.
I
Without a
Agree.
doubt.
I like it cold too.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's 55 fucking degrees. I sleep in 65 degree weather. I enjoy the cold.
It's not 55 here. It's 67.
It's not.
It's
that
67 degrees.
thing hasn't told the truth. Okay.
All I could go off of is the things that are supposed to tell me the temperature.
That
Saying
thing's
it's 67
wrong.
degrees. This one over here says it as well. But yesterday was a little chilly. Today it feels good in here. I know you guys are feeling cold today.
No.
I didn't know.
It's not just today.
You're talking about your toes being cold.
Dude, I know.
That's real cold. It's like you're in a crick.
I got real socks on too. Like I got MIT.
He's got wool socks on.
It's no joke, man. Like,
all right, what's perfect temperature? What would you guys like? The thermometers. What would you like the thermometers?
Oh no, like you said, because I'll throw a.
No, let's make it right.
I'll throw a New York Atlas sweatshirt on. Because I agree though. The last thing I want is when it's 85 out here and you walk in here and it's 78 degrees.
For sure.
Can't have
this
that.
dog will not hunt.
The issue is when there's no sun.
Yeah.
So when there's no sun, the sun is the thing that heats up the house, with the windows.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's no sun and it's hot outside, then you got a problem.
No
Because now
tree
you're dealing with
coverage,
shade. Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So now we're in that balancing, figuring out, plus big area here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tidal wave of change. We'll warm it up for you.
No.
Hey, listen,
To
we'll warm
Ty's
it up.
point, no. See,
No,
okay.
hey,
Hold on.
we'll warm it
Now
up
you're
for
doing
you
this
guys.
thing. You're not doing this thing.
No, we will.
No. I would rather it be like this too. But I don't want to.
You know what? Didn't we have a heated blanket for somebody at one point?
We have the Safelite Auto Glass.
Yeah, I think the
thermal
blanket was to
No,
bring someone
I think
back
there
to
was
life.
a heated blanket. I think there was remember there was an
I
electric.
used to have a heating pad for my keyboard in the old office.
No, back in the truck.
It was offered in the truck. It was never used. I almost blew a gasket.
That's right. Yeah, Gumps uses a heated blanket.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That happened.
Bubble blankets.
We'll warm it up for you guys.
What's it actually set to?
I think it's 67.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember also when it was hot in here and it was a nightmare and it said 67 on there. So I know that.
We're thinking we got a thermometer problem.
I think,
There's a chance
I think
the
the
thermostat
thermometer
might be.
Yeah, if we clean the AC.
Because I keep my house at 67. It ain't 67 in here.
It has been colder. My fingers get really cold in the morning.
His fingies hurt.
And you know how big of a bummer it is to agree with Foxy on this? It's a bummer. It's a bummer to agree with the guy that's
This is
saying
a big
his fingers
office
are cold.
convo. This has been years in the making here, because the old office used to be able to get a little chilly.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be able to try to turn that thing down a little bit. But with the way it was built, it's all these open-aired things. All right, Connor, you know what?
I'm going to say the old office got way colder. Like, this is, like, perfect.
Yeah, old office, we had exposed brick and pipes.
Old office was fast.
we were watching people's poop go through the pipes in the old office. And look, I'm not the one. Don't say, okay, Connor, for you, we're going to turn it down. Okay, don't do that. I agree. I like it cold. I am
Why
just
don't
bringing
you
up.
take Commander Supreme Commander of the temperature in here?
No, you are the Supreme Commander of the Thunderdome.
No, not of the temperature. I would like you to become. It says 67. We just got a picture from a Honeywell home right there on the brick.
Good angle so you can see the
67.
temperature.
Who took this photo? Who took this photo?
Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce. If we get a little bit more of a downward angle on it, get a little bit more.
Make sure the lights are completely glaring.
There was a reflection problem, so I didn't want my fingies all over it,
Yeah.
all over the screen, so I went with the angle.
67.
No, I know, and it goes to conversation that we just had about how, like, it can say 67, but it's not, the exact truth. Look,
I think you should. You should manage this.
why don't you just take a look around, okay? Okay.
Cone's wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, and he did it on purpose today. I know he did. I know Tony came up here with this, had a sweatshirt on all morning, and then said, for some reason, I think it's going to happen today, and took it off. And then if you just go to the back room, too, if you want, real quick, Foxy, just a lot of long sleeves.
Foxy, what's Foxy wearing?
Yeah,
Always wearing short sleeves.
Yeah, we got some tough
It's
guys.
colder in here, though.
We got some
Back room's warmer,
tough guys
boys.
in the
back room
office
is.
today. And I know people don't want to grind your gears being wusses wearing long sleeves, but at some point, I looked myself in the mirror and said, "What am I not a man? If I feel cold, does that make me not a man?"
I would not feel that way, by the way. I think it's a good conversation to have. But I don't think today is the day. Zito, today feels perfect. Today is the day.
Absolutely perfect. I'm wearing shorts right now.
Now, granted, I don't go outside and back in. The outside back to inside. I've yet to do
It kills you.
That is the tough
I don't go
It kills
outside anymore until after the show. Yeah, because if you go out there and then you come back in,
you get frosted a little bit. Yeah, you do
We
get
could
a
probably
little
plug our
frosted.
air conditioner to the gazebo out there.
9-year NFL vet, Gary Shea Baller.
Baby Butch.
D-Butch will wear a hoodie when it's 85 degrees.
That's true.
I'm a hoodie guy.
Yeah, but that time in Tampa, it was 102.
that was crazy.
So
and you
hot.
had a hoodie on. That was when I decided, okay, never listening to this guy on if it's hot or cold.
I wore a T-shirt in here a couple weeks ago, and yeah.
All right, we got to fix that. Joining us now live from an attic in Ohio, which I assume is properly temperatured. Ladies and gentlemen,
Don't
college
do
football-
this. Don't do the whole properly temperatured shit.
Feels good.
Okay, I like it in here.
It's
And we all do.
The air conditioning works.
But I mean, it's
So maybe we go up to 68 on that thing.
But that's the
I
thing,
don't
though,
want to.
is we're gonna need this in 2 weeks. We were just talking about how we're gonna have mid-90s days, and then we're gonna need this.
Yeah.
It's just these days where it's 76 and the sun's not out, but you still go out there and it's
Joining us now,
Guess
ladies
that.
and gentlemen, a man who probably has a hoodie on, if I had to guess over there. Black shirt of some sort.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, AJ Hawk.
Yeah,
AJ, 67, I guess, a little chilly in here. I guess it's a little chilly in here.
67's a great, I can sleep at 65. I mean, just try one. Go up to 68 and see how
It's
everybody-
not.
We're going to go to 68. I think we're going to try
Get
68.
a thermometer. Have Mitt walk around with a thermometer and try to gauge the temperature inside.
Honeywell's full of shit.
What?
Yeah, they are.
It is.
Yeah,
If we can't trust Honeywell home, who can we trust?
good point.
Remember that thing was reset to 80 every night.
That was a
recently.
problem. That was a real problem. And I made sure we never had that again because I was about sick of
that
walking
was
into
it.
83 degrees in here. But whatever the actual temperature is, even if it's wrong, if we go up one, you would think even the fake temperature would go up one.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna find our median.
We'll go to 68.
No, I think we're good at 67.
You just did a whole thing about how we're not good
I
at
said it
67.
was, no, I just said it was cold, but I would rather it this way.
No, but 68 might be the perfect temperature.
You said your little tootsies were freezing in your socks.
Yeah, you said you were nipping a little bit. You did say your little tootsies were freezing.
My tootsies are not freezing.
I get it.
said they were cold. Okay?
My fingers are
If
definitely
they were
cold.
freezing, I would say turn it up.
What's that, Foxy?
I said my fingers have definitely been cold, abnormally cold. These
Yeah,
last
but remember, Foxy came into this game using a heater for his fingies.
Well, I'm always typing and mousing, and then I noticed
You're
like, I'm
mousing.
getting carpal tunnel right now because I'm going from warm to cold, and it's not good.
I'd rather my tootsies be cold than my socks be sweaty. Okay? So it has nothing to do with
It's a good point.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
I've had
need
wet
this
socks
to
one
change.
time in my life. You're right.
No.
Wouldn't want that again.
All right, let's talk about a few things happening around. We'll go to 68.
Don't
We'll go
go,
68.
Don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who grew up in a much different city than all of us. I believe he's a New Yorker through and through. Yeah. We'll get his take on this. He has kids. He's obviously an Emmy Award-winning TV host. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, ESPN insider, analyst, and pundit for the NFL, Peter Schrager.
Yeah.
Schrags, 67 degrees is what the thermometer is saying here at the Thunderdome. The boys don't believe it. They say it's much colder. That's a hard thing to see there because we didn't want fingies in the photo, allegedly, but that says 67, and then on the right side it says set to 67. What temperature is the Schrags house if you were to be the one setting it?
Great picture by Bruce there. I would say that first thing I do when I walk into a hotel room, and I've been in several, and this is not going to get weird, I promise. First thing I do is I turn that air conditioning to 60 degrees. I freeze that thing out completely. I rip off the top covers of whatever bed and whatever we have linens-wise, and I'm at home. But if I had my choice, we are at 60 degrees. We are freezing the place out. Unfortunately, Con Edison, the New York electricity bill goes up very high. It's too expensive in New York to do that. So we're usually at a solid 68. I think where you're at is about right.
Okay, so we'll go up 68 because Shreg says smart thing with Con Edison.
Don't go up.
Yeah, that's what we'll go 68.
Don't
Come
go
on.
up.
Maybe we'll have some T-shirts.
Don't go up.
T-shirts will be fun to see.
Don't go up.
I mean, Tone's wearing one. Foxy's wearing one.
Yeah.
Gumpy's wearing one of them.
I have one on. Yeah, and like I said, tough cusses in here today. But again.
All right, let's talk sports. Deshaun, Elliott, and Pittsburgh Steelers get a deal done. TJ Watt still without a deal. Trey Hendrickson negotiations have regained some momentum. Who knows if they're positive or negative? Which one gets done first, you think? TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson? Do you think it's about the same time?
I think TJ Watt. I feel like I know both sides are really motivated to get something done here. They don't want to go into training camp and have this thing drag on. The Rodgers domino fell. Deshaun Elliott's a nice player to have, but this was always going to be, let's get Rodgers in camp, and I think the TJ Watt deal has to get done. Now, from what I'm told, both sides want it to get done, obviously. TJ Watt's going to want a certain amount of money. Question is it a game of chicken where it's, okay, TJ Watt takes a deal that the Steelers offer, and then a week later, Micah Parsons blows his deal out of the water, and we're in the same place that we were beforehand. So it's always interesting to see when you're talking top of the market guys, who is going to take that offer first, who's motivated to get it done first, and who's willing to wait it out. Often we deal with the quarterbacks this way, but now with the pass rushers and what Myles Garrett and Max Crosby got this season, you're dealing with TJ Watt and Micah Parsons, who both believe they should be top of the market too. Who gets their deal first? Who agrees to a deal first? Could be really a game of chicken between those two guys, more so than the team versus player.
Okay, so you say TJ Watt, you think is that answer. Let's stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tone has a question for you, Shriggs.
Yeah, Shriggs, how come when we're watching TV, you're the only one on TV that is positive about Aaron Rodgers going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and everyone else said, he's not even going to be a football player by Thanksgiving?
What?
God forbid. God forbid that you could have some positive talk in June about Aaron Rodgers. I know everyone's got their issues with the guy, and they didn't like the fact they had to talk about him in March, April, and May before he was with a team. But guess what? He didn't miss that much. He really didn't. And I tried stressing this on both Get Up and on your show last week. Arthur Smith is a smart guy. Arthur Smith built an offense that could operate if it was with Aaron Rodgers, and then built an offense that could operate on paper when they were out with Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't like he was caught off guard when last week Aaron Rodgers decided to finally sign. It's like, oh no, what do? I had built the Mason Rudolph offense. What am I? This thing was fully on paper and fully ready to go. And Rodgers, of course, you heard Mark yesterday talk on your show and talk on the podcast that, like, of course the players come under his wing and they want to be with Aaron Rodgers and he's got this great charisma. Like, it's okay to be positive about this possibility and realize that this is a different situation than it was in New York. I've got that cadence like Schefter or Pablo Torre right now. I didn't know where that came from. It's different than what it was in New York, where he's not coming aboard a team and it's like, you're fully the one who's got to galvanize everyone, hire our coaching staff, figure out the wide receivers room, take the guys to Broadway, take Sauce Gardner to Carbone. Like, he's going to play football. He's got a 1-year deal, Pat, and he's got a 1-year deal with a bunch of motivated veterans. To me, this is the best situation that Pittsburgh's been in years, and these guys are going to galvanize, and they will rally around Aaron Rodgers. So to say that they've got Super Bowl expectations, and I had people rolling their eyes on set with me when I said it, They didn't go and pay DK Metcalf $30 million to not have Super Bowl expectations. They didn't go and sign Aaron Rodgers at 41 years old and sit on their hands all summer to do this to not have Super Bowl expectations. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they think that these moves make them better than last year. If I came on TV and I'm like, they believe they could be a wild card team and they're going to be eliminated in the first round, that's nothing. That's not what they believe. So do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? I haven't made my prediction yet, but I will say this.
Tone wants to know who rolled their eyes.
They believe internally they're in a lot better place right now than they were a year ago.
Tone, as you were saying, all this thing was his cowboy hat was just going like this over in the corner. As you were saying, we can win a Super Bowl. We're in a better position than we've been in. And you talking about, if I was to go on and say we're going to win the wild card, Cam Hayward, all the boys that we saw at the Jelly Roll Post Malone concert, that's not how they're viewing it. That is not how they feel at all. And they don't think it's fair to view them that way with how much success they've had, with how little production from an offensive standpoint they've had over the last few years. Now, Russell Wilson had a good run, like 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, where they thought.
And then it petered out. It petered out. It did. And like Fields, and everyone's like, well, they really wanted Fields. They really wanted Fields. They would have paid Fields big money. Okay, that was my take on that whole thing. I think a lot of other insiders like
$20 million per. I think, right?
They really wanted Stafford. Well, Stafford wasn't going. So it was the Rams wanted to retain Stafford. They just had to figure that out. And Sean and Stafford had multiple meetings to work their stuff out, and that got done. So they didn't really want Fields. If they really wanted Fields, you give them $40 million and we're there. They didn't. They didn't offer him that. Now, did Justin Fields have other options and choose the Jets over the Steelers? Yes, that's fair. That said, Aaron Rodgers at $10 million a year with incentives that can get him to 20, it's a great value. And you're rolling the dice and saying, we're sick of being mediocre. This guy might take us over the top. I understand there's a lot of personal feelings towards Aaron Rodgers out there, and I don't play in those.
That's because he's immunized. That's right. Yeah, that's when he really kicked into full speed.
I guess, but I don't know if I go. I don't know if I go to ESPN and NFL Network and Fox Sports 1 to hear people's thoughts on that anyway. So I'm just looking at the football stuff, and I'm like, he makes them better. You know?
Amen. Yeah, it's been a wild ride getting a chance to experience the Aaron Rodgers experience over the last 5 years, just because everything he does. Everything. Literally everything he does.
Yep.
If he's going shopping and there's a photo of him, boom, everybody's got an opinion. Some people's opinion is, I don't care he went shopping, but did look at photo of him shopping, did form an opinion of him shopping, and then don't care if he went shopping. I'm on TV. I'm sick of talking about Aaron Rodgers. Well, why are you doing it then? You know, don't have to. Why?
That's the best. You're on TV being paid to talk about it. And then you say to the camera, like, hey, viewer, I'm sick of talking about it. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yeah, that's why you're doing it. And the people that are controlling what you talk about are doing it for a reason. Sorry. It's like, this dude is a talking point, and I think Pittsburgh is a good home for him. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, just like I said for Russell Wilson, like if Russell Wilson would have won for Pittsburgh, Yinzers would have won to bat for all the shit that Russell Wilson did. Just like Aaron. Aaron wins in Pittsburgh, the Yinzers they'll throw some people in the mosh.
Yeah, we'll throw a couple people in a mud.
Yeah, for you forever. And it's like, why not? Good luck. Okay, let's move to another football program that's going through a big-time star not being, present. Go ahead, D-Butch.
Yeah, a program with Super Bowl, I guess, real Super Bowl expectations coming off an NFC Championship appearance. Young superstar quarterback, new front office. The Washington Commanders haven't taken care and locked up Terry McLaurin, their superstar wide receiver, coming off a career year. What is going on there? Do you expect this to get done before training camp and before the season gets kicked off?
Yeah, look, all the vibes out of Washington has been incredible this offseason. The only fly in the ointment has been this deal here, and I will tell you that they are motivated to get it done. I know this sounds like what we say it every time with all these star players, but like Terry knows this is his window. His agent is thinking this is when we can get him paid because this team is a rising tide, and he is the leader in that locker room and is the veteran guy that has done everything right every step of the way. Adam Peters comes from the 49ers organization, brought in Deebo Samuel, made a big trade to get Laramie Tunsil. I would be shocked if we're getting into training camp and Terry McLaurin is holding out and taking punitive fines for not being there. This is a guy they want to pay, guy who stepped up and has been the great bridge in between the down days of Dan Snyder and Ron Rivera at times to the high and mighty Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, high-powered offense. This is the one guy at a skill position who has been there for all of it and is truly the leader in the locker room. So he deserves to get paid. I don't know the number right now, but I believe that they will find a way to get this done. They don't want to lose Terry McLaurin, and they certainly don't want to trade him.
Yeah, certainly not in Jaden's second year, especially with the connection that they had.
Needs to be at least mid-30s, in my opinion. Chase got 40. CD got, 36? Justin Jefferson got 35. DK got 30.
30.
Okay, yeah, it needs to be.
You put him in that conversation? I'm curious.
1,000%.
Terry?
Yeah.
Scary Terry?
Yeah, especially going into the second year with a young stud at quarterback.
How about you, Schrags?
I do know.
Let's hear it.
You do the scale, and it's like you've got your Jamar Chases, or it's like, all right, he's probably not in that conversation. But when you do mention those veteran guys who have gotten now their third deals, a DK Metcalf, and you mentioned some of these other guys, T. Higgins got his first big deal here. You don't think of him as this big physical presence, yet all he does is produce. And because he was a third-round pick, I think that's kind of the sting on him a little bit, where people say, yeah, he's overachieved. Well, overachieved compared to what? A.J. Hawk knows at Ohio State, this guy was the dude and was fantastic. He just fell in the draft and has exceeded all expectations based on his draft stock. So I am the biggest Terry McLaurin fan, and I know the voice he has in that room. And I know, as an Indianapolis native, you guys respect what he's done as well.
Yeah, we thought he was maybe going to get traded back to Indy. There was a little conversation maybe last year or 2 years ago where he was potentially going to leave the Washington football team, or I forget what their name was at the time. Maybe they were already the Commanders, where he was potentially going to be traded or something. It's like, bring him back to Indy. We would love to have Terry McLaurin. I think that's when I really started paying attention and looking into everything. He's a monster for them. He's their leader, too. So it's like, I assume that will get done. I think we all assume these types of deals will get done. Third-round pick, being a guy, is a beautiful story. There was a third-round pick at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. What was his name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Boom. Is he going to be the starting quarterback? We have no idea. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Schrags, we hear that they might, this Browns team might carry 4 quarterbacks on the roster. At least they're floating that idea, I guess. What do you think truly does happen to their 53-man opening day roster? And are they looking to potentially trade one of these guys?
I'd be surprised. And the two guys that I would look at is Flacco and Pickett. Now, they were aggressive in getting Joe Flacco as a free agent quarterback, brought him back. Obviously, he has a great relationship with Stefanski. Two of them had great success 2 years ago when he was the comeback player of the year, but they also acquired Kenny Pickett. I would be surprised personally if both of those veteran quarterbacks are still on the roster come week 1. And you have the 2 rookies. Usually in a situation like this, just covering the league a while like I have, you have the 2 veterans go at it. One of those guys is your veteran, and then you probably keep both rookies, and you dress maybe one of them. And you've got Flacco as your starter week 1, Shador or Gabriel as your backup. Then you got one who's not active, not dressed, but is obviously still on the team. So it would be surprising with the Cleveland Browns if they kept 4 quarterbacks. I do know that this year is going to be very important for Shador and Dylan Gabriel. And the reason is they're both 3rd round and 5th round picks. And if you remember, when we were sitting together at the draft, Cleveland traded back and acquired Jacksonville's 1st round pick and their own 1st round pick. When you have 2 1st round picks of teams that are not necessarily expected to be Super Bowl contenders, quarterback is always going to be looming in every conversation. So I think they're going to want to get those guys action, Gabriel and Sanders. I think they're going to want to have one veteran quarterback. I don't know if there's a value in having both of those veteran quarterbacks and then having 2 rookies on the roster as well.
Cleveland Browns are in quite a situation, and they're paying quarterbacks more than anybody else in the NFL. And quarterback
for the one guy I didn't even mention. Yeah.
Is he? I don't even know if he's in the. Is he in the building? He's not even.
I don't know.
Probably.
I haven't heard his name.
We know who QB1 is going to be in Cleveland.
Who's that?
We know.
They traded for Kenny, so him.
It'll be Hey, I love Dylan Gabriel. I love Pickett. I love Flacco.
Oh,
it's going to be Shador.
Day one.
No, by week 8, Shador Sanders will be.
Judging by
that sounds right.
Judging by the ESPN.
I mean,
Cleveland
I'm dialed into ESPN Cleveland, so I'm watching this. I don't know what the hell those DBs
16
are
of
doing.
18.
Yeah, I think I only saw one interception from all the quarterbacks. So I don't know what Denzel Ward and the boys are doing over there. But
be careful. Be careful.
I'm reading tea leaves. I'm watching.
What are you talking about, Shrags? 16 of 18.
Jackson Dart
touchdowns.
Threw 3 touchdowns today. Like, be careful.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
Holy shit.
Better not throwing them.
Put it on the bottom line.
Yeah, it is a lot better than not throwing. Good call, AJ.
I get it.
Jameis threw 10.
I've never, and I respect the hell out of all the beat reporters, but I don't remember us ever charting June minicamp.
Be a pro.
Passing stat. That's new.
That's attention to detail. This is what football knowledge has come to.
New. That's
right.
With that
That's
being
new.
said, I see some balls coming out of Shador Sanders at that game,
hell
and
yeah.
I'm like, kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm reading.
He can sling it.
Read the I see him. Some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up. See what he's doing in the community.
Talking about Njoku there.
Joku, Mike that. Yeah, once you see, different little interactions and things like that, we know. I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league and say, you could point fingers in a million ways. Not having a pure agent, not having, the workouts that everyone else did, going to these teams, not necessarily being as willing to throw the ball when asked at the All-Star games. Like that kind of stuff I think might have stung him and might have turned teams off. But at no point did anyone say he's a bad kid or that he wasn't going to get along with veterans and come? I mean, this is a guy who has been training to be a professional football player since the day he was born and is ready for this moment.
I listened to Coach Prime give some motivational message, and I was like, I need to hear it. It was some video. I don't know when he said it. Could have been throughout the last 20 years. It was some motivational speech about, like blocking out the noise, keep moving, keep walking forward. Somebody posted it in one of their Instagram slides. I enjoy people that really take the time to put picture of their life obscure, weird other picture, motivational message, weird picture, video, and then there's like a wrap-up thing at the end. How do we tie these all together? I don't know. I just went for a ride here through these swipes. And then there was a Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, speech that he gave at a press conference. I think he was sitting up there. And I heard it. I was like, needed to hear that. Appreciate you, Prime. That just kind of kept it moving. And I'm like, I was in the middle of my house. I think I was walking to my bedroom. It was like,
what'd you do?
Late last night. I stopped in the middle of it and I was like, Shador's been hearing that his whole life. Shador's been hearing these messages his entire life. Feels like he would be prepared for basically any situation mentally. You would think that. Now, once you experience it, it's obviously different. But I think listening to Coach Prime say, like, this is Shador Sanders we're talking about here. Whenever people were asking a lot of questions, it's like he was saying, you don't think that I've taught him how to be a professional? That's basically what you're saying. I'm intrigued to see how it works out. Dylan Gabriel, not talked about at all. 3rd-round pick, drafted ahead of Shador Sanders. Kenny Pickett, last guy to touch ball in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it was.
And Joey Flacco, last guy to take the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs. Joey Flacco. A lot of storylines obviously developing. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, it's still Cleveland, so who cares?
Jeez.
Yeah, Shrakes, the Shamar Stewart situation has continued on. I'm not sure if we have talked about it since the last update. He has left the Bengals camp, I believe. There were some weird situations that look like certain videos. They weren't giving him water, but kind of questionable there. Have you seen a situation like this with Shamar Stewart being a rookie, being a 17th overall pick, not being a top 3 guy like the Bosa's that we've talked about before, but being a 17th pick where he's coming in, the Bengals are trying to slide in a first time ever clause that they've used. I know people are talking about the chance, if this is to continue on, that Shamar Stewart goes back to the draft next year. Is that something you can actually foresee happening, or do you think this inevitably gets figured out. And how often does this happen where teams will try and slide in something for the first time ever to not screw over a player, but try and change the kind of contracts they give rookies for years in the future?
We've seen rookie holdouts throughout NFL history, but since the new CBA was signed, it's an anomaly because you're basically slotted in where you go. If you're the 17th pick, this is what you get. If you're the 18th pick, this is what you get. It is what it is. You're always going to make more than the 18th and 19th pick, whatever. In this case, it's a very Bengals-specific situation in that last year they had an 18th overall pick, and the year before that they had a 28th overall pick, and those two players did not have that clause in this contract. Other teams have it. The Bengals have not. So the agent, who is a young man named Zach Hiller, Zach is in his 20s. He's a young agent who's got a good little client base right now, and he's going up against some of the titans of the industry as far as agents go. And he's looking at this, and he's talking to his client, who is 21 years old, and he's saying to this young man, hey, Jamar Chase just signed a deal with them, and they didn't put this clause in his contract. T. Higgins just signed a deal with them a couple months ago. They didn't put this clause in his contract. The last two draft picks that were first-round picks by this team did not have it. So you're the first. You don't have to sign anything. You can stand on merit and stand on the fact that you don't feel comfortable signing this just in case something went catastrophically wrong. You wouldn't get guarantees in the future. You can stand on it. And now as a 21-year-old who is a man who has his own wallet to protect, not worried about the agent's not speaking for him, Shamar Stewart believes this is his fight that he wants to fight. And I think that threw off a lot of people around the league. It throws off the Bengals, obviously. They weren't expecting it, and we're at a standstill right now. But if you look at it, why should I be the guinea pig? Why should I be the first? I would also say this. If they do sign Trey Hendrickson and they don't have this clause in the contract, I think that adds fuel to the fire and says, well, wait, what's going on here? Why is it this guy? Why am I as my client? Why am I the one? So it's interesting. I think Mike Florio had a really good article earlier this week on it where Mike said basically he can go back in the draft, but he would give up so much money and risk so much money that is guaranteed his way if he were to do this. It would be a year away from football. He would have to have the faith that someone's going to take him earlier. And at that point, this is a small little note in a contract that includes millions and millions of dollars that are coming his way. Is he really willing to sacrifice it to fight and die on this hill? I don't know about that.
We shall see. Will the Cincinnati Bengals continue to fight? We shall see. And hopefully by training camp, all of it is settled. We appreciate the hell out of you, Schrags, for joining us on this glorious Tuesday. You're the man.
You're the best. Real quick, everyone's in con and enjoying. I like you guys are in the studio. You're working. You're doing the job, and you're not flexing on some yacht like the rest of our industry. Thank you.
I'll tell you what. Our industry deserves to do whatever the hell they want, and our industry hopefully is one that continues to go up. You know, continues to do that. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager. Our industry. That's interesting.
Who's in con?
I don't know. I just saw the Kelceys were there, and I liked the Kelce, so I didn't necessarily like the way he was headed there. Was there others that are on yachts?
I assume there is.
Yeah, Schrager's probably saying he saw a couple people on yachts.
Is an event out there?
No, but or he was referring to, like, I was looking, like, just noticed on social media, Instagram, there's a lot of sports reporters, football people on vacation right now.
Yeah, that's because the NFL kind of won and took a snooze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Orlovsky golfed 100,000 holes.
Still currently.
Really?
He probably around, I would guess, probably hole 60 right now.
Thank you, Dan.
Is it one day? One day?
Dan.
For ALS.
Thank you for doing that, Dan. That is bringing awareness to a good cause. Now, he's getting to golf at one of the nicest golf courses in the United States of America, and he's, I assume, if how this is going, and he's golfing 60 holes to bring attention to ALS research, I assume.
Yep.
I appreciate him doing that on his day off. Now, granted, he's probably getting better out there. Coming out of the pocket.
For 100 holes. He's doing 100 holes.
100, yeah. He's probably going to be
in one day?
Pretty sore.
I don't know. He was 37 in 3 hours ago.
Is he walking or driving?
Got it.
Got to be driving.
It was raining, too.
That'd be a nightmare.
Oh,
battling.
A little sloppy.
He had two gloves on.
2 gloves, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
I love that. Golfing 100 holes in one day to raise awareness for ALS research. Dan Orlovsky, keep going, bub. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Dan.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who golfed in the slop.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend. In beautiful Oakmont Country Club, which resides mostly in Plumboro, Pennsylvania.
Hell yeah.
This man has been golfing professionally full-time since 2016. He had one other win before this past weekend, which was in 2022 in Valero, Texas at the Texas Open. Now, he will forever have on his resume that he's a U.S. Open champion, a major champion, and an absolute dog. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Spaun.
Yeah, JJ.
How you doing?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, JJ, how you doing, brother? Love the energy. Congrats on winning the U.S. Open. How's it feel?
Oh, incredible, man. I'm just so over the moon, still kind of waiting to come down from cloud 9, but yeah, here I am waking up every morning still, and it's no dream.
Yeah, you're going to continue to feel that way, I assume, as it starts to settle in. And I don't know how many people have gone through all the different records and things that you've done that have never been done before. But the start to your Sunday round, and then for the way it ended, let alone the CVS run at 3 a.m., which shout out to you being a good dad.
Yeah.
Shout out to you being a good dad. What did we have to get? We had to get a little something to calm the stomach, or what was the CVS run?
We had to get the Pedialyte, some saltine crackers, and that's pretty much it for a 2-year-old. I would have loved to just given her some Pepto-Bismol and tell her to suck it up, but she's 2 years old and she can't even really talk yet. So we did our best, and she's doing better now. Did you stay up through that, or did you get a couple hours after that? How did the rest of the day go from 3 a.m. all the way through the end? No, my wife ended up staying with her in the other room, and then my 4-year-old ended up coming and sleeping in the bed with me, and I ended up going back to sleep, waking up at about 9 o'clock, because my tea time wasn't until 2 o'clock-ish, so luckily I had kind of, the rest of the mid-morning to get ready and get some more rest. What a perfect Father's Day golf tournament story, especially it being the U.S. Open. Let's talk about you starting. Now, obviously, we got a bogey, and then the second hole, whenever you beautifully put one in, and then the golf gods, that thing right back at you. Are you wondering at that moment, like, if the golf gods are working against you? Like, what is the mindset whenever you see one of the most unlucky bounces in the history of a major golf tournament happen to you at that time? Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really gotten many bad breaks at all the entire week. So when they started happening, I was just thinking, holy crap, like, this is kind of, the course and the golf gods, getting even with me. I shot the first ever bogey-free opening round, and I'm like, dude, this isn't the route that I need to be going, kind of jinxing myself with all these records that I'm doing, to start the week off. But, I'm happy I pushed through it, but, that's the U.S. Open. It's such a tough test, and it's gonna test you in every which way. Let's talk about you being tested. Kizner told a story on the air about how maybe he gave you a speech one time about you being too hard on yourself and you need to be easier on yourself. And I don't know if it was a confidence thing or if he was telling you need to maybe forgive yourself a little bit more for how you play. And obviously golf is a sport that is very heavily committed to in between the ears, and a slightest miss can derail an entire operation. What did Kizner mean by that story? Did that happen? And is that something you still have to kind of battle with, being a perfectionist to yourself? Yeah, totally. That did happen. I remember specifically we were playing the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in 2022. And we were playing with Mookie Betts, who was my partner, which is, one of my all-time favorite Dodgers. And, I played really well all week, but he could see in my attitude and my demeanor that any sort of poor break or bad shot, I would just get super mad and down. And he just said, dude, you're too damn good to get in your own way, that you kind of just have to be easier on yourself, and things will start going my way, and just don't care too much. I think that's kind of what the final conclusion was, just to stop caring so much. And he said he wished if he did that earlier in his career, he probably would have had way more wins. So it was some nice veteran advice, to give me. And, actually 2 months later, I won the Valero Texas Open kind of with that attitude. So I think he sent me a couple invoices that I think got lost in the mail. Yeah, certainly. You never saw him. If you never saw him. Yeah, I don't think I saw those. He had the moment on the U.S. Open, which we all heard, and it was very cool to hear Kiz. It felt like everybody kind of got emotional watching you. I don't know if you saw, here's Hatton kind of realize the moment for you as he's giving his answers to the media.
During the rain delay to keep yourself active.
I sat in dining. Oh, he's hold it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a putt to win. That's incredible.
Okay, you had a great English accent there, and then obviously you saw. Yeah, that was great. You obviously saw McIntyre sitting in there at the scoring thing, just going, "Holy shit!" Wow. Are you guys a tight group? Like, did you feel like there was a lot of sense of pride and happiness for you whenever you got the win? Because that's what I think we saw with everybody's reaction.
Yeah, totally. We see each other week in and week out. I mean, me and Bob McIntyre, we were chatting it up in the trailer, the workout trailer before, and just cutting it up and having a good time. And we've gotten to know each other pretty well the last few months, getting paired with them more frequently. And it's cool. That's kind of the epitome of the sport. It's such a gentleman's game. Kind of have the respect for each other out here because we all know we're so good. Anyone could win, pretty much any week. And you got when things are going a certain guy's way, you can't really do anything about it, but just kind of sit back and appreciate the moment.
Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, JJ, I know during the rain delay, I know you said it hit just at the right time for you. You changed clothes, you kind of changed mindset, everything. I don't know if you got to peek at any TVs, but they re-aired the 2008 U.S. Open where Tiger took on Rocco Mediate. Did you get to take any inspirations from that when you were resting during the break?
Yeah, we were actually in the player grill. A bunch of us were in there kind of just trying to kill time. And I think it was more of just kind of lightening the mood a little bit, watching Tiger dominate and laughing at, Rocco's clubs and his outfit and stuff like that. No offense to Rocco. He's the man. But
of course,
it's just funny how different golf was, 17 years ago. And it kind of was a nice way to wipe the slate clean. And but the reset was huge, kind of taking a break and resetting the mind and getting back out there and getting back after it.
Watching Tiger, just outrageous. And then
guys like pulling out on one leg and stuff. It's just
and then there's a 64-foot putt just a couple hours later to win the entire, which break, because they had the shot of Tiger's massive putt where he swings that son of a bitch way out to the right net and comes down. And then he has that moment where he laughs to himself about how absurd it was. And then literally just a couple hours later on a drenched Oakmont Green that those Yingers took care of in such beautiful fashion. Mm-hmm. We watch a big left swinger kind of hold that thing. What is the mindset whenever you step up for this? Obviously, hold it. There was no thought like, hey, get this close. Can two-putt to win a U.S. Open? And when did you decide that we were going to, try to bury this thing? Is that every putt for you?
Yeah, man. Every 64-footer, I'm just trying to make. Those are easy. Now, honestly, I was trying to hit a good lag. I was more concerned on my speed. We kind of had our line picked out. And it just, you can see right there, when it was about 7 feet out, we kind of shifted up to the left to see it come down the fall line. So in case it missed, you can see which way it's breaking. So for the comebacker, and it just freaking disappeared, man. And it was the way to end the tournament. And it was kind of, how things were meant to be.
Yeah, I think, only way to end it. Yeah, I'm happy you chipped it up to the 64 feet. If you would put that to 10 feet, lame.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. There's no drama in that.
Did you see Hovland? You saw Hovland's putt. Obviously, we watched you do that. I don't know how much you're allowed to do that in a PGA, if you're allowed to just park it right behind somebody else's putt. But that's certainly something you're seeing, right? You understand, you were watching that all unfold in front of your eyes, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was probably 10 steps away. I mean, there's etiquette involved. That's kind of unwritten rules, but you can't stand right behind him. But I was close enough to where he hit it to get an idea of at least how hard I'd have to hit the putt. But yeah, it was a pretty good break to have him go before me.
One of the biggest putts in the history of golf.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of conversation around it. Go ahead, D-Bud.
I believe I read, JJ, on the last 7 holes, you made 136 feet worth of putts. And now the putter you're using, the lab putter, is kind of all the rage now. Maybe you should invoice them a little bit. When did you start using it, and what's different about it, I guess?
Yeah, I picked it up during the off-season last year, so between November and January. And I've been a pretty traditional putter, I guess you can say, with what style putter I use, which was a blade putter that requires a lot of movement in the toe to kind of square it up. But the beauty of the technology with the lab putter is there's no torque, is what they say, with the way it's lie angle balanced, and that's where the name lab comes from. So the way it's kind of made is the face doesn't twist as much as a traditional putter would. which makes sense. You know, you're trying to square this putter up. Why do you want it, you know, floating open and closed all the time?
Agreed.
So they've come up with a recipe to kind of limit that and make your contact and make your stroke a lot easier.
Thank you, JJ. I think I just learned.
That's all you gotta do.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
That's all he needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Holy shit, JJ.
You can see it.
I just became a professional golfer.
Yeah.
2026 U.S. Open champ right there.
Whoa. Those courses are a little bit too tough, which we will get to here in a matter of moments. I'm from Plumboro, so literally.
No way.
Yes. So we've probably been to the CVS that you went to for your daughter for ourselves when we were incredibly drunk and or hungover at the time. So
you're going for maybe the same reasons, but
Pedialyte, made for babies, perfected by drunks. Yes, definitely. This was your putt, I believe, the DF3 Custom. This did you change your? See, now I'm asking for me. Do we change our stroke or do we keep our same stroke and the putter just helps us out more and we become scratch golfers because we're good putters all of a sudden?
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. You don't change anything. You just put it in your hands and you're going to make everything.
That's nice.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
That's cool.
Make it a
Oh,
commercial.
no.
Unduffable.
You got to practice with it a little bit. You'll get used to it. But yeah, it takes some time to get comfortable with, but it does work. It does work.
It feels like in golf they lie to me a lot. It feels like I get lied to. I bought this as the unduffable. I was watching the Golf Fix 3 a.m. Guy had pool noodle in his right arm. Was doing the entire thing. We go to a commercial. Bang! For 3 easy payments, $29.99. You can get the unduffable or 1 easy payment, $69.99.
Yeah.
Turns out you can duff this thing, JJ. I want to let you know. I chose the one large payment. And first time out there, I took this thing right into a fairway. I mean, right duff into earth. So I don't want to be lied to about this lab putter. Yeah. I would like to know that when I go out there, ball's going in the hole. That's a big deal.
Hey, the best part, too, is that putter, that hole in the back. In case you do miss it, you probably won't. And you're playing in a friendly group, it's called the gimme getter. You just stab it with the hole. You don't even have to bend over, hurt your back.
So
you just
cool.
Pick it up with the putter. It's
gimme getter.
Super easy.
Give me the gimme getter.
2-in-1. The gimme getter. There it is. That hole, but bottom left.
Hey, let's remember here when we're golfing, those gimmies can be a little bit, you can be friendly with those.
Yeah, sure.
Nah.
Yeah, you can.
Put it in the bottom of the cup.
They're making putters so you can pick up the ball for gimmies. Let's have a little bit more respect for the gimmies. Yeah. Let's give it a little bit more room.
If you're paying to play golf, you're not good enough to take gimmies. Put it in.
D-Butch just started golfing 3 years ago, and he's already bullying people.
Yeah,
he is a purist. He is. He golfs 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And
that.
I'm taking gimmies. Yeah, I need bigger.
Hey, should.
Please. Especially at Oakmont, from what we've heard. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, JJ, obviously, throughout the last several years, we've heard how difficult Oakmont is, and then you watch it, you got unbelievable players, going home, shooting 18 over and stuff like that. Is Oakmont the toughest golf course you've ever played, and how difficult is it on a day like Sunday not to get inside your own head knowing, like, hey, if I hit this in the rough or if I miss, my spot and put it at a certain part of the green, like that could be the difference between 3 and 4 shots. I mean, we saw what happened with Sam Burns. He was playing incredible, and then, he started missing fairways, and you're just cooked. There's nothing you can do. So is Oakmont as tough as it's made out to be? I think I know the answer to that. And how do you kind of stay inside your own head and not let it just defeat you over the course of a weekend?
Yeah, it totally is the toughest course I've ever played. Probably the toughest course on the planet. It's just so diabolical from tee to green. You can't miss fairways. Yeah, you can't miss fairways. The greens are so insanely sloped and fast. They're running 14.5, almost 15 on the stimp meter. And the conditions are just insane. The rough's 5+ inches long, and it's wet, and it's been raining in Pittsburgh for a few months, so it's healthy.
30 years I've lived.
It's healthy, lush grass. Yeah. So, it's just one of those places where, it's funny because I didn't want to look at the leaderboard really before my rounds, my late afternoon rounds, and see like how the course is playing, and you see someone that's like 9 over through 11 holes. I'm like, shit, I'm going to shoot. I could shoot 85 today because people are doing it, So it was hard to, not get in your own head with knowing how tough this course is. And, I think that kind of played to my advantage, just kind of trying to stick to my game plan, staying out of my own way, and just taking what the course gives me.
On that note, there was a video that hit the internet. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, there was, JJ. There was a video of Victor Hovland on the practice screen, and you're going to have to listen closely in the background to see if you recognize a voice or not.
Trying too hard. Okay, fucking go.
Is that your coach there?
Yeah. My coach, Josh Gregory.
What does he mean by that? What were you doing there? And when was that take? Was that the final round? Was that during the rain delay, or when was that?
Yeah, that was when we were on the putting green before we went back out to the reset, or after the restart. And he just told me I'm taking a little too long on my routine with putting. He said to just speed it up half a second into, you heard it. That's kind of what he meant right
Which
there.
one was he? Which one? Because we saw them celebrate afterwards.
Yeah, I have two. So Adam, the hippie looking dude with the backwards hat. That's my swing coach, and then Josh. That's Josh. So that's Josh and his son. He's my short game coach.
Okay, short. And then the other coach is for driver and iron, or how's that work?
Yeah, like full swing stuff. Yeah.
And they have to get along? You choose them? Do they come as a package? How's that work?
Well, ironically, I just started working with Josh last week at the U.S. Open.
Hilarious.
Good coach.
Got some good job security going forward.
What are the odds on JJ Spaun going forward? I know you're this weekend at the Travelers. I believe you're paired with Scotty Scheffler. You talked earlier about the other players and you guys recognizing when somebody's having a moment. Scotty is currently having a moment, feels like the last couple years. What has it been like watching Scotty, and what will it be like playing alongside of him this weekend?
Yeah, I've played with Scotty a couple times. Haven't recently since, his ascent to the top. But he's just such a great player and a really cool guy too. A lot of people don't get to see how we interact inside the clubhouse and locker room, but I'm excited to tee it up with him. I'm not going to feel too uncomfortable because, I can say I'm a major champion too, like he is, and, kind of peacock a little bit next to him and not feel kind of out of my league. But, I'm excited to get out there and see what he can do and, have a good week.
Couple quick questions here before we have to go, and we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your life. We know how busy a golfer's life is. We watched that Super Swing show on Netflix. Yep. It feels like one tournament into the other. You guys are rock star. Yeah, whatever it is, full swing. Sorry, full swing. It is. It was super full swing. It was super. It wasn't. It was super long. You got hit by a car when you were 5 years old?
Yeah, skateboarding. Ran over, but luckily I didn't go under wheels. I went like the rear wheel went, and then I went right under it before the front wheel because it was reversing back out of a driveway, and I just went right under it and was like stuck under it.
Fast and Furious. Did you hang on and just? Yeah. Do you still skate? How long do you skate? I know you're a California guy. Do you still skate?
I haven't since I turned. When was it? 30. I just
put the skateboard down.
Falling now at 30 it's like falling off a 10-story building. It's on a flat ground trick, but I don't anymore. My hands are. I rely on my hands too much and my ankles, so I can't really risk it anymore. But I still like to cruise around the neighborhood on my longboard and still ride.
Still throwing shakas, bro, how we doing? Congrats, JJ. We appreciate you so much, man. We can't wait to watch the rest of the year with you.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Hopefully you do it again, ladies and gentlemen. JJ Spaun.
Yay!
Cool dude.
Yeah,
man.
Awesome.
And.
Yeah, you got to do.
Found your putter.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. We saw your eyes light up when you saw this happen.
What are you talking about? It did. I did get excited. There was an internal flame that was lit. Like, wait a minute, I gave up the game, but did I give it up too soon? Have these lab people come to save me and bring me back to the sport of golf?
Think so.
Because I'll tell you what, if that flat stick starts working, you can enjoy golf.
Oh yeah.
If that flat stick's not working, you can fucking hate golf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was at that second part there for a while. Good thing I figured that out thanks to JJ Spaun and Josh Gregory. First week coaching him, wins the U.S. Open.
Wow.
Looks like that's job security. We'll continue on digital. We'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. Goodbye. That was good timing back there on the graphic, boys. Great work. JJ Spaun was really cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Good juice.
It's like a normal dude.
He should board in. When he gets to an event, he should ride his longboard in with his bag on his shoulder.
Yeah, maybe surf walk.
Oh.
You know?
Like Penta?
Yeah, Penta, Scott Hall.
Scott Hall.
Well, Penta for sure.
Well, yeah, I thought Penta started that.
I mean, Penta brought it back for sure. Penta looks good.
Goldberg had a new walk last night.
Goldberg's back, baby. Did you
Bill?
see that?
Yeah, Bill's
Bill,
back.
how old is he?
58.
60 something.
Yeah, that uppercut's 20 though.
He's 58 years old.
I don't know.
Boom, boom,
Oh.
He's 58 years old.
Let's go.
Still got it.
And then he told Gunther that, you're mine because you're next. And I love that. I love Bill Goldberg in Atlanta. Saturday night main event. Bill Goldberg's back taking on the champion, Gunther. I'll tell you what, Bill. Just as somebody that's walked in there with this man in St. Louis, I don't know, bub. I don't know. This dude, 58 years old?
Yeah.
I know bones are like different for people like Bill Goldberg than I guess every other human. But I had a bruise on my shit for what, 3 weeks?
A month.
Because it's like, I don't know, Bill. I respect it. It's his last ride.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if Gunther's the right one. That feels like a little bit of an aggressive decision. Did you see Gunther, by the way?
He's looking kind of strong.
Trim.
Yeah.
Violent
But
champion.
He's the most violent
He's the most violent champion
champion.
of all time. But we all know Bill Goldberg's game plan is bulletproof. He's going to go in there, fucking kick him in the head, and end his career early, like he's done with many greats in the past. Fucking ask Bret Hart, okay? That's exactly what fucking Bill Goldberg
I mean, there's a lot of conversation around that. Of course, Bret Hart did hit the internet pretty loud last night. And hopefully, maybe Bret Hart is, maybe he's around Atlanta, maybe.
Whoa.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
That would be
so cool.
sweet.
Him and Gunn.
Could you imagine wrapping up 10 different storylines all in one match?
Goldberg might
That's
try to
long-term
kill him.
storytelling.
That absolutely is.
I mean, Bret Hart said, if you booked Bill Goldberg in Saturday Night Main Event, he'd call you back and say, what day is it on?
He did not say
Yeah, he did.
He did not.
Yeah.
He did. He actually said that.
Great quote.
So good. Yeah, I
Great
saw
quote.
that a couple times
Yeah.
yesterday. It was golden.
Bret Hart, Bill Goldberg, noted hatred for a long time.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're able to get
For
past
shoot?
it.
Shoot me? Oh, yeah. Saying it worked.
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Feels real. Feels real, D-Buck.
It's been a long
I thought it
time.
was work.
Kicked him in the head, fucking gave him a concussion, ended his career.
That's
Stiff son of a bitch.
That's Bret Hart, obviously. Bret Hart talking about Bill Goldberg and their match at WCW. And if you watch the replay, he does connect on like a pretty perfect.
Yeah.
But then there's obviously
Spark him up.
there's a lot of I hope they're able to get over it, obviously, because both those men are massive pieces of wrestling history. Like, people at this stage see Goldberg, and, the arena was chanting Goldberg, but the internet obviously reacts one way.
Sure.
That happens a lot in wrestling. I get murdered on the internet a lot, but the arena seems to like me every once in a while when I'm out there. Bill Goldberg in the arena, everybody has the nostalgia. Goldberg.
Yeah.
Goldberg, which is one of the greatest chants in the history of wrestling, just because it's so, for lack of a better word, daunting. And his walk out to the ring, whenever he would start in his own locker room, headbutt the door, sometimes he'd still be busted open from it. The security'd walk out, he'd inhale the sparklers, blow out the smoke, give a 1, 2, 3 combo with a kick, the place would go crazy, and then he would bury whoever was out there. He was like 113, I forget what the number was, and whenever he started. The idea behind it was, can this guy go on a Mike Tyson-like run? Because that was back when Tyson was doing his thing. And they found this spear jackhammer combo with Bill Goldberg. That was just lightning for so long. And then obviously WWF buys WCW. Everything happens. Bill Goldberg comes over to WWF. I don't know if it works out as great. He makes his comeback. It's a big deal. Now we're doing the retirement run. And it's like some people on the internet that are younger that didn't get a chance to experience it in real time, I don't think have like an actual respect for it. But when it was happening,
It was must-see TV.
it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to spear people on the old wrestling game with my buddies. I used to spear everybody with Goldberg.
Well, then the jackhammer too. I mean,
Yeah.
just such a.
Pretty sweet.
I still remember everything about how the streak ended. Fucking Nash and Hall out there. Nash hit him with the taser. Just dirty pool. The streak probably could have continued, but it was. That was must-see TV every Monday when the streak was intact.
He's 58 years old.
That's
A lot of people are saying he got hurt training because he came out and said he got hurt. He hurt himself training a couple times, and it's like 58.
Yeah, of course he did. How would you not?
Jack still, too.
Yeah, I think you're going to pull a hamstring every once in a while
Yeah.
whenever you're training at the age of 58. Yeah. You see how sweaty he was?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know how you're able to work yourself up to that type of sweat at 58. Legit. The amount of shit that you have to do to get to that much sweat. And then I did enjoy the intensity whenever he was speaking to Gunther and maybe spraying some either sweat or spit on Gunther's face. Gunther's eating that thing. As you say, you're mine.
And your boys get the Goldberg tattoo back in the day?
AQ, right?
AQ Shipley has one.
Because his is barbed
That
wire,
was.
right?
What about you, D? But your buddies get that was huge our era.
That's close, Tony.
Yeah, Tone has a couple of them, I think both sides.
Mine's more tribal than barbed wire.
Yeah, none of my boys got one.
I thought, I
What's
thought
that?
you guys all got the Hulkster tattoos.
I didn't even know who he had.
That was now, I thought.
This was a good tattoo everybody was getting.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right?
It was like each stage. There was him like this, and then the hand would.
It's like one of those flip books.
Yeah, as you turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
That didn't make it to.
I thought you and your
around my
boys did
way.
that. Oh, that's weird.
Really, you start right here, and it's just
Yeah.
his hand like this, and then as you turn, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of those.
Across the
They're
back.
sick. You should.
It might be regional.
Yeah, regional.
Yeah, different,
like
different
Euchre.
regions.
South Florida, yeah.
Yes, that's what I heard down in Florida.
That's the region. Tampa, where the hangout is.
Yeah, Hogan's hanging out.
Yeah.
Karaoke on Mondays.
Oh, we missed it. That was yesterday.
Fuck.
They'll do it again
When?
Next Monday.
next Monday.
You know, YouTube TV has MVP features.
They do.
Wow.
You know that?
I actually didn't know that.
What are they?
Well, they got game highlights, stats, and scores all in one place, making it even easier to be a fan or a gambler. With that being said, I'm done doing the betting against the sportsbook thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
9.5, 6.5. These fuckers don't know anything. They do. They got it figured. Turns out after an 82-game season and then another 100 games of playoffs, sportsbooks have it pretty locked in on what's about to take place.
Well, that's good for Thursday then, because 4.5
For who?
for the Thunder.
For who?
That's not good news.
Pacers have
No, they've been favored in every game, but every time it's lower than 5, the Pacers.
Yeah,
have
but I'm
won.
saying the last 2 nights they've been seeing the ball pretty well. Feels like they're seeing the court pretty good.
I think they're seeing the Pacers.
Is Tyrese going to be all right?
I don't know. I hope so, man. I did not like the way he was moving after that. And then they put him back in there. Then he goes to the locker room. Then as he's walking out, they show him in that back hallway. It's like he's limping. And you got to remember, with the way these basketball players are built, Tyrese, everything's like elongated, you know? So like a strain, like that, his bodies, they're so tall.
Yeah.
They're all so tall. It's like I have no idea how they lumber as much as they do back and forth on wood. For as many,
Starting and stopping is wild with how big they are too. Like that's got to be so painful.
let alone if you have a tweak or soreness or whatever the hell is causing the right lower leg, because it was an ankle, then it was a calf, and then like who knows, foot, who knows what it is. It's being reported as like so many different things, but it's like his game is the step back, the right foot, step back, and it's like his right calf. So people are, rightfully so, he did not have a great game, but I don't think he can move much. And there was he was even moving on defensive end to try to get away from very active. You saw him like sprinting, running to the other side of the court, like, let me try to get over it. Because like you become a liability out there all of a sudden if you can't move. It's not a good place to be, especially at this stage of it all.
Yeah, you can't get to the rim. Even with his game, obviously he's a distributor, but being able to get to the rim is huge. Like his first, I think 5 shots he took in the first half, and I love that graphic they have where they show the actual shots. I think it was 4 3-pointers and like a fadeaway mid-range, and like I think Perk said he was playing scared. I don't think he was saying scared of OKC, but when you have like those soft tissue injuries, especially around the calf, ankle, all those things, foot, like you are kind of afraid to push off and land certain ways, and obviously you have to explode when you're trying to get up into that rim. So it's going to be a big issue. Keep an eye on. Hopefully TJ can keep it cooking, if Hallie can't, be full speed for 48 minutes.
2 games ago, I believe, maybe game 4, I forget which one it was. He shot a 3 from the corner, and then there was a rebound, and he came in, got his rebound, and then he was knocked off balance, and he passed it. And he got up kind of limping then. And it's like the same, I wonder if it's the same, feels like something's going on, though.
Yeah. And they need him. He needs to be at least like 85% for them to actually be able to win. Like,
especially against this Oklahoma City.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It is, that's definitely, but that is what happens in basketball. Like, that is literally what happens in basketball. Go ahead.
And with Carlisle, like we talk about it affecting their pace, affecting the other teams, absolutely, definitely does. You could see it even last night. SGA at one point, he got knocked down and he took a second and he was breathing heavy, getting back up. But like the same.
The guy who's setting that pace.
Yeah, the same type of injuries that happen to those other teams, those hammies, those soft tissues from running so much. This is 2 years in a row now that's happened to Tyrese, because last year during the Eastern Conference Finals, he got hurt, and this year obviously lasted longer. But now as the series is going on, it's getting worse.
And he's the actual one setting the pace.
Exactly.
Like he is the rabbit that everybody is chasing out there every single time. So we hope it's not as serious, as it appears to be. With that being said, he says Game 6 of the Finals, I'm going to play. If I can walk, I'm playing, and I respect that.
And if not, TJ can put in a good 46 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you respect that, but when TJ McConnell's got it going like that.
Let's talk about another TJ McConnell, absolute dog. TJ McConnell has had games like this a lot for us here in Indiana. Oh, yeah. He is a great member of the Indiana Pacers, a very important key to the Indiana Pacers as a whole. And if they're just going to let him shoot it, he says, you're going to have to guard me. You're going to have to guard me. He will take his time, though. He will take his time.
Yeah. Wide open up there, but his mid-range, I can't recall the last one he's missed. Like, he rises up and just...
Right here.
Yeah.
That's the spot.
That shit never misses.
That's awesome. I love it.
Automatic.
Yeah, that is the spot. TJ McConnell. Yinzer. Is he potentially a part of the solution for the Indiana Pacers to find themselves down 3-2 in the NBA Finals to the Oklahoma City Thunder? We shall see Thursday night. We have another update on an injury that took place in baseball over the weekend to a mayor. Obviously, a game for the Savannah Bananas had a special guest first baseman.
Yeah, the mayor, friend of the program, Sean Casey, former hitting coach of the New York Yankees and multiple-time All-Star with the Cincinnati Reds. He got in on banana ball, as everybody's been doing. And, he had a nice long at bat. Unfortunately,
not allowed to step out of the batter's box.
Yeah, correct. And, I don't know if this guy for the party animals was pitching around the mayor. It certainly looked like he was. Wasn't exactly giving him a pitch to hit. You can see he's got a 2-0 count here, and he's kind of quick pitching him. So the mayor really didn't have much time. But 3-0, if we know anything about Sean Casey, he's got an unbelievable eye. Okay, This guy is going to take the free base. So there he goes. And then you get a pass ball, so they're thinking, hey, Mayor, maybe get a look here. Maybe try to turn this into 2. He takes a nice big banana.
Oh, no.
You see him grab the hammy and scuffles back to first base, and immediately, I need a pinch runner. He's laughing. He gets him with a, let's fucking go. But then I did, had to. We know the mayor. I texted him. I said, hey, there are rumors floating around that you tore the hamstring pretty good. Like, is that real or is that bullshit? He said, yeah, unfortunately, I tore that thing off the bone. I got surgery on Thursday. So
good luck in recovery. You got walked. You tore a hamstring on a walk.
It was a walk?
Yeah.
It's better than your Achilles, I guess, right?
It certainly is. Mr. Mayor, we appreciate you turning that fucking...
He's the best. He's the best.
He needs to potentially have a conversation with the first base coach.
Yeah.
And say, Bub, just let me get on first. We did the thing here. I seen him. He pitched around me. I got on base. What did he think Sean Casey was going to do?
Send him.
Mr. Mayor, we think you could have got there for sure. That had to be the first time Sean Casey has ever been sent in the history of Sean Casey.
This guy got thrown out from left field at first base when he was in the majors. Like, if I'm him, I'm looking at the goofy bastard who wears the yellow suit, and I'm saying, hey, you're paying for all my medical expenses.
Yeah.
All right?
And some.
He's not a goofy bastard. He's a genius.
No, I know he is.
That guy is a super genius.
I know. He looks like a goofy bastard with the top hat and everything.
I would like to tell the Savannah Bananas, getting Sean Casey involved, right move.
Without a doubt.
He is the right guy to get involved. Sending him.
Never again.
Sean,
he was going to make it.
He played it cool. He played it cool.
He had to be in so much pain. Tore off the bone, has surgery tomorrow.
What do you think he said right here, Ty? After he when he got back to first base.
You fucked me. Why'd you fucking send me? Are you fucking kidding me?
You know I'm like a dog.
Probably.
I got thrown out from left field.
I can't wait.
What the fuck, man?
Surgery at that age.
Yeah.
Sean, we're laughing with you, we promise. And you understand it.
Yeah.
This sucks that you have to do the surgery. Good luck in recovery. And his on-base percentage is 1,000.
Exactly. And it's not hindering him. I believe he's out in Arizona today. His son is at the MLB Combine, so he's still, he's still walking around out there. I bet he has got the biggest pool of blood and bruise on the back of
couldn't
his
even
leg.
imagine.
Yeah, probably looks like he got hit by a car, but hey, it was worth it. He got on base for the Bananas.
Amen.
Did his
That's what
part.
it's
They
all
got a pitch
about.
runner in right away, right?
Yep.
They were down 1-0, I think, to the party animals there.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
They were down 1-0. It's 4-2 in points, but 1-0 in runs. So I'm not 100% sure still.
I think the
give Sean
tie
something to
game
hit.
in that situation.
Yeah, but the Bananas got more points, so
Yeah.
I'm running with the Bananas.
They got a point for this. If you tear your hamstring
Tore
on a walk.
hamstring is a 5-pointer.
On a walk, you get 5 points.
It's a 5-pointer.
Yeah.
I love the Savannah Bananas. I also enjoy the fact that Sean Casey's there doing that.
Yeah.
I like that they've been getting a lot of people involved. I like that what they're doing is bringing people out.
Yeah.
Like anybody that can draw that many people, you're just like the Pope said. Like, I mean, listen to what the Pope has to say. You don't listen to what we have to say. But it's like, what a sense of community and a sense of culture and a sense of having a good time. 80,000 people enjoying and experiencing one thing. Like, there's not a lot of companies that can just generate that. So the Savannah Bananas being able to pull it off. The modern day Harlem Globetrotters. They also got Dude Perfect, obviously, mixed in there. And I very rarely see these fuckers miss. I saw a guy do a fucking side flip catching fly ball in center field.
I saw that. Yeah.
I've never really seen him miss, right? Because I've seen him do crazy things like that, and I don't recall watching him fail on any of these things.
I went to the N1 mixtape when it came to Pittsburgh and watched it, and No Holding was certainly a massive piece of it, and that was when the professor was doing his thing, and Hot Sauce was kind of handing off the baton, but not really. They were still competing for who's the guy with the best handles in the world, and there were some misses. There's a lot of, oh, that's a terrible layup, we're going back the other way. Sure. Oh, that's a mishandle, that type of stuff. Now, obviously, when you're trying ridiculous shit, it's not always going to work, especially with it. That was felt more competitive because it was City representing against and one. I think we all enjoyed that run that it had. I've been to a Harlem Globetrotter game. There's some misses that happen naturally. Whenever you're doing full court shots, there's going to be some misses, and filling the time in between the misses to the next, set is a part of the show. That is what you got to figure out. I've yet to go to a Savannah Bananas game, but it feels like everybody that goes says positive things and people go right back next time. So I think what they've been able to create, a festival of sorts with baseball as the main point, is beautiful. And Sean Casey tearing his hamstring on a walk is such Savannah Banana baseball.
It is. That's banana ball.
Savannah Banana baseball. And I'm pumped for them. They're good for baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Great for baseball.
Yeah, no, I
More
agree.
opportunities.
I agree. I agree. I've long said the thing that bothers me the most, and I guess it really doesn't matter because ESPN's kind of doing whatever with MLB. You can watch more Savannah Banana games on ESPN than you can Major League Baseball games. I think that's bullshit. But
that's a good deal. It's Super Genius, the guy that you called Goofy in the yellow.
Well, he is Goofy. Where's that Goofy
Mr.
top
Banana.
hat and Jesse? His name's Jesse.
Jesse Banana.
He calls himself Mr. Banana.
Super Genius, Jesse.
He is, without a doubt. And again,
maybe he should be running the MLB.
Maybe.
Or the PGA.
Maybe.
Listen, it's getting kids excited about baseball. That's all that matters.
It is.
Agreed.
It is.
Not just kids. Dan Orlovsky's like, I'm a Savannah Banana.
Yeah, well, he's a child.
I think I would have to go to one live and then, because I tried to watch one on TV the other night, and
it's a live event.
Yeah, it's just not. It just wasn't for me. But if I, and unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be coming back to Victory Field anytime soon.
Too small.
Yeah, exactly.
Might do Lucas Oil Stadium. Might have hit out the window.
I can't wait for you to play for the Bananas when they come back.
I saw what Sean Casey just did there.
No, but you're going to have to.
Why didn't they give the mayor a pitch to hit?
I don't know. They were scared of him. God gets good wood. He's the hitting coach for
I
Yankees.
thought it was entertaining.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who I assume is a big Savannah Bananas fan, Dan Orlovsky, joined us from the golf course.
Dano!
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what are you doing? You're golfing 100 holes to raise awareness for ALS research. Is that right?
Yep. 100 holes today, raise awareness and funds for ALS. We are on hole 63.
How are you shooting?
Playing okay. Just made birdie. I have another birdie putt here, but 30 feet, so probably not as realistic, but we're playing good. We're fighting. We're grinding. Rain all day. All it does in Connecticut is rain, so rain all day.
That's good. You need to be in the mud. We just talked to JJ Spaun. You need to have a little bit more confidence and don't be so hard on yourself. Are you walking or driving?
No, everybody has their own cart. No one's walking. Everybody has their own cart. No, practice swings. Get up to the ball and hit it.
How do we raise money, or what are we doing? How's this working?
Well, you raise money. You can go to donate. I can send you the link if you want. There's a bunch of, pretty exclusive places to get on for golf courses that you could probably gain some access to. Some trips as well. So what's their website? ALS100holes.com.
All right. Great work out there, Dano. We're proud of you, buddy.
You're a good man, brother. 36 holes to go.
Okay, good luck. How are you feeling? We got blisties on our fingies or what?
No. We got 2 gloves on. 2 gloves, rain gloves. No blisters. Some of the boys are here playing right now.
What's up, lads?
That's Chuck right there who lost his mom to ALS.
Okay, Chuck. Hey, sorry to hear that. Obviously, ALS is a very serious disease we don't know nearly enough about. So days like today are a big deal, brother. Hell yeah.
My man.
It's a tip of the cap.
This is a birdie putt right here.
All right, let's watch it. Hey, I'll donate 10,000. You make this putt.
10,000?
Yeah, you make the putt.
Got a lab putter?
All right, Danny.
Someone's hands in it.
Your hands in the camera. Your hands on the camera.
Oh, my bad.
All right, all 4 of you attempting this?
Just me and Chuck. Chuck and I are a team.
Is that Chuck right there? No.
Yeah, I'm over here. What's up, pal?
It's Dano.
Oh, come on.
You missed it?
I make it, but you can still donate 10,000 now.
All right. Good luck out there, Dano. You're the man.
Appreciate you, buddy.
See ya. All right, Dano doing a good thing.
Maybe Dano.
Oh yeah, Dan.
Salt of the earth guy.
He wasn't gonna make that putt.
No, never.
30 feet.
100 holes.
I will donate though.
Salt of the earth.
One day, 100 holes, 24 golfers, one cause. What is this called? 100. What's the website again?
ALS100holes.com.
ALS100holes.com. We saw 4 of the golfers. 5 other groups.
It's cool.
It's a lot of holes.
Especially right after the U.S. Open, I'm sure.
No practice swings. Speed golf.
Have to.
I've heard, now I don't know for sure, I've only seen videos. I believe this is how Michael Jordan and his group of friends golf every morning.
Wahlberg too.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I think Wahlberg as well. They all get their own carts. They meet at a certain time on the first tee, and it's like you're either there or you're not. And if you're there, we're all roll. Tee box is where we'll have some conversation.
Yep.
Everything else is we will see you on the green. Let's putt this thing out. Let's get to the next one. We don't have 5 hours. Okay, we want to accomplish life while still golfing. We need to do that.
Yeah,
it's how everyone should play.
And the carts go 35 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to go to a place, and we need to say, we would like to use these carts. We would like this time. How much can we pay for that? We'd like to motor through 12 holes of golf because that's the perfect amount, and then we need to get out of here. That's good golfing.
Great move.
100 holes is a long time.
But if you're going speed, you might as well do 18.
It's also a fair point.
Or
if I got that lap putter, time might just.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, AJ? What did we learn today? I can putt.
Guaranteed make every time. I did see though when you put the website up, it said allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. So I don't know in 6 to 8 weeks if you're still going to have this passion that you do right now.
For the custom one.
True.
Oh.
They have
Well, you want the custom one though. And the custom one is the one that you can't miss.
Trust me, I looked at the site the other day.
I want the gimme getter.
Yeah.
I want the gimme getter.
With the hole in it, yeah. Boom.
We went to the website and ordered one. 6 to 8 weeks, we'll get it. I'm sure I'll remember this exact day whenever it gets here.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
There's a lot of options there. What type of putting stroke do I have? Do I have a standard stroke? Do I have a sweeper stroke? Do I have a counterbalance stroke?
Is that, I guess, how your hands are, I guess? Is that what that is?
No, it's just a bunch of hoopla they put on there to overcharge you.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing earlier. If you guys saw me, I was doing this. I was asking, am I a standard putter? I think I'm a standard putter, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to arm lock.
Got to order 4 of them.
Maybe I go to arm. Let's get the arm lock as well. Hey, what's this? What's the sweeper? Am I doing
Adam
the real
Scott
tall
had
one
the
tall
sweeper.
Yeah, get the real tall one. Those are cool. Everyone under
the
85
tall one is the
uses
sweeper,
sweeper.
I believe.
Give me the sweeper. I might be a fucking sweeper.
And then DeChambeau uses the arm lock. I believe.
So that's this one here, and it's rolling up this side, right?
Now that's the one.
We need one of every one of these things. Who knows what I'm trying to find it in the fucking can here.
Expedited 250.
Everybody's gonna have it.
Within 10 days.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
Allegedly, the company has already reached out to us. That is a cool thing about having a show.
Sure.
I will say.
Oh, that is.
Oh, then don't order them.
Yeah, they're gonna send them.
Nah, because then I'd rather us just buy them.
No.
I'd rather just buy them so then if they stink, I could say.
No, they're sending them because
Don't
we
worry,
already
I'll
gave
say
them a commercial. So that's why.
True.
I don't think they stink, by the way. A guy drained a 64-foot putt to win the U.S. Open with it. So, if anything.
But it might stink for you, and you would be well within your rights to say that, even if they sent it for free.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a Scotty Cameron guy. You could say that.
Do you ever make putts with Scotty Cameron putters?
Sure.
I don't. I don't fucking make shit. I can't.
It's about putting is like, does the putter feel good to you? I don't think it matters what it is. Like, do you feel good with it?
My scramble partner hit a big birdie putt yesterday with one. Jimmy Brown.
With
Mitch?
With a lab putter?
Yep.
Seriously?
Boom. Yeah, seriously. Just sent it in. Yeah, it was a little tough.
You need that non-torque.
What are we
You need
talking
no
about
torque,
here?
right?
No torque.
Watching people play is fun.
Do that. That's cool.
There it is.
Oh, I don't know what grip.
Do the Michelle Wee.
That's
See
a
how
happy
Michelle
grip.
Wee putts?
That's your style right
Boom.
there. I found it.
I don't know how many
So
rounds. you gonna
comfortable
get
too.
in.
You can
Get
practice
lower.
for hours
Get
and
lower.
hours. Get it. Yeah, grab it down by the head.
Yeah, get
Wow.
lower like a hockey stick.
Is that legal, Foxy?
Yes.
No, you're not allowed.
They were showing.
I
highlights.
actually don't know.
They were showing highlights
I believe
of
it's
Jack
That's legal,
putt,
right?
and that's literally how they used the putt.
Of who?
Jack.
Well, Jack bent over. I don't know if his hands
bent
are
over.
that far down.
Yeah, I
There
think
it
they
is.
changed
There it
the
is. I
rules
like
because of
that.
that.
Ohio guy.
Oh yeah.
That's why I need the Lab 300. Give me the Super Duper Lab 300.
Yeah.
Did you make any putts for your group?
Oh.
I'll tell you what, good way to win over the group is make a putt early.
Yep.
Yeah, and get it out the way because I was definitely getting carried by the Brown brothers. One of them played golf at IU. Shout out to AC too. He does a lot of great stuff.
Anthony
And-
Calhoun, Wish
yeah.
TV here in Indianapolis,
Yep.
Indiana, in Indianapolis Staple.
Absolutely.
Has the biggest golf outing every single year here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, been on Wish TV, I believe, for like 25 years. Brought a lot of people out, but yeah, I didn't. They probably used maybe 4 of my shots on 18 holes.
What?
Probably 4 shots.
If these guys can play, then they're good. These
Oh
guys
yeah,
are
it was
good.
like I would be like, all right, you take one, hit a 4-iron on your second shot, get us safe in the fairway, and then they'll go for it for like 270 out.
What were some of the professions out of these Brown brothers?
Oh, they run an aerospace company, 3 of them, and then one of them owns their own pool company. We got so it took me about 13 holes to
Government
get everybody's
contracts.
names right. It was Johnny, Jimmy,
Cash.
Joey, and Jake. And Jake played at IU.
It's not about the Jimmies and Johnnies.
No.
It's about the Jake and the Joeys.
Yep.
That's right.
And whenever you put them together, the Brown brothers, and they unite for one golf outing, you can put together a good score, especially if you bring in a stick like Darius Butler. 4 shots out of the whole thing?
I feel great about those 4 too. These were like a couple of them were sticks.
I just saw what you were dressed like yesterday. Holy shit.
I like that.
D-Bunch
Like
winning
that.
the golf tournament.
Holy shit.
Holy fuck, man.
Sunday red shirt.
Sunday
red.
Yeah.
D-Bunch like, look at this shirt, $9,000.
Yep.
At least.
It felt
I am here to golf.
great.
4 of my shots.
Aerospace. No follow-up from D-Butt on the aerospace. As soon as D-Butt told me this, I said, oh, sweet. Did we go to the moon? What do we... Did you hear the other day somebody...
Did you ask him?
We got an astronaut on the moon
A
right
soldier
now.
on the moon right now, allegedly.
I heard that.
Pull up that.
What's he
weasel.
doing up there?
I've never seen such a whistle dick.
It's like
in
a
my
tomb of the
life.
unknown soldier
That
type
guy
situation.
in the video. Pull that guy up right now so everyone can look at.
No, we're not doing it.
He's just marching.
If he don't look like Delbert Jenkins, I don't.
Guess
believe
what?
it.
He don't.
Speaking of Delbert, not enough people are talking about. He's not going to be in Gamebridge on Thursday night. So,
What if he is?
Is our Delbert?
He's banned or
yeah, our Delbert's going to be there.
Okay.
Who's that?
Bone?
We got to find the fattest slob downtown.
We got him. He's
Not that Delbert is a fat slob. I'm saying like the Indiana equivalent. We got to find
think we know a guy.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Let's get out of here.
He's right there.
T-Bone, you're doing great. T-Bone.
Great polo today. D-Bone.
T-Bone won 2 games of euchre yesterday, so
He's getting better.
he is getting good at
Chris
this game.
Moneymaker.
He is kind of becoming Chris
He
Benoit.
kind of does. He's so stubborn still.
Yeah, he's got a little Daniel Negreanu in him.
His body type is more fossil man, I guess, but
That's certainly very fossil.
AJ Hawk
But
in him.
he also he's got a lot of Phil Hellmuth in him too. You start pressing him a little bit, he starts getting a little whoa whoa whoa.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of
squawky.
Which I appreciate the way Phil Hellmuth carried himself at those tables, but he was a little bit of a little whiny.
Yeah, he's patting.
D-Bun's been doing some pot. He dealt himself 4 cards, supposed to have 5 cards. Connor tried to tell him, obviously, he knows everything at this point, so he didn't, had to miss it. See you later.
That's that generation.
And then Connor gives him a full speech like, hey, you're still learning the game, so when I help you, I don't need you to go, wow, I know. And then when you deal yourself 4 cards instead of 5, and I say, hey, you're doing it, you go, I know. And then, you mishandle the entire thing. Like, you need to continue that. D-Bone has gotten to a confidence level at Euchre that we need to slow down a little.
It's hurting his game.
We need to slow down a little bit. He's getting good, though. He understands the game at least.
He definitely knows
For
the
sure.
game. Yeah,
Nice.
he's starting to win points. He's getting good cards. He's doing good.
Euchre's a great game.
the
There's a lot of
best.
great card games out there. Whenever you go to places, you learn new card games. Euchre, I think, is probably the most, I don't want to say electrifying, but it is.
Repeatable, for sure.
It feels like it is the easiest to spend a lot of time doing and then be interested in.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it is a game that...
Well, it's similar to Spades.
Similar
right?
to Spades,
Yeah.
yes, but there's a little bit it's a little bit more...
Faster.
Yeah, it's a little bit more energetic.
Is that you guys had in Northeast? The Northeast? Or is that
Euchre?
more of a Midwest?
Midwest.
No, yeah, Euchre I didn't learn till
What we play,
2020.
Rummy a bunch?
I think, Rummy over there, poker, Pittsburgh's big
yeah,
poker place. A lot of poker. Rummy played everywhere. But people say the Pennsylvania Dutch created Euchre as well. So Euchre was kind of founded in Pennsylvania, which makes sense with how quickly I
I
learned.
think it was in Cincinnati where cornhole was invented as well.
No,
Pretty sure it was a different type of game there.
I don't think Michigan. I don't think Michigan created.
Yeah, you forgot
Pretty
the
sure.
ing on the end of that. You guys created.
That's a great game when you go cornhole and you just start tossing those sacks into the hole every time. That was created in Cincinnati.
Cornhole, yeah, the game.
Learned that one in the Colts locker room. That was a great game. That was a great game. I mean, obviously.
Cornhole. You never played cornhole in college?
No, we had the 3.
The bars.
yeah, that's a good game. That's a fun game.
Yard golf or whatever.
Yeah, yard golf or whatever it is. A lot of flip cup in college.
Oh, yeah.
Can jam.
Mostly flip
Hand
cup.
jam's fun.
I didn't play. Is that the?
Yeah, that's the frisbee.
I didn't play any of the frisbee games. I saw a lot of. Didn't play a lot of the dice games either. I see a lot of people doing like throwing dice.
Oh, dice is great.
We didn't play.
Oh,
any of
that game's
quarters.
awesome.
Played quarters.
I
a
learned
lot.
that game a few years ago. The dice, throw it up, hit the table, catch it or not.
Looks awesome.
It is.
It's very fun.
Never played it. I still don't know what the rules are. Whenever I see a video of a motherfucker throwing it to the sky and then like a cup on the corner, I don't know what the goal is. Still at this point in my life.
In cup, game over.
What do you have to throw at a certain height?
Yes.
What is the
Yeah.
rules?
It has to be. It's supposed. The height thing is kind of varies, but it's like the height of the table or the height of the tallest person. But it's supposed to be. You got to toss that son of a bitch up.
It's kind of like we get it.
Yes.
It's supposed to be.
Has to go off the back.
If it doesn't hit the table, what happens?
Nothing. No points. Zero.
Okay. But if it hits the What's a table- point?
A point is table and off, and it hits the ground. You don't.
And then
catch
what's a
it.
catch?
I think nothing as well.
You just get served then, I think.
Yeah.
What?
Like if you, say you throw it up or whatever. So your team's here, their team's there.
So is it 2 on the same side?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Throw it up, hits the table. If the other team lets it hit the ground or doesn't catch it, you get a point. If they catch it, then I think it's just their turn.
Yeah.
And what are you playing to, like 21?
I think it was 11, 21.
Yeah, 11 or 21. You can
see, that
only
feels
use
like
one
a lot.
hand.
I still don't know how to play.
You can only use one hand.
It's very.
So you can't
it's
like
easy.
trap the dice or anything.
You ever see a guy do quarters and roll it on his nose?
No.
Mm-hmm.
That was
We played a lot of
Who
quarters.
did that, Nick? We saw somebody do that.
I don't know. I've never seen that. I wish I would have.
Somebody rolled it down their nose.
It worked.
Yeah, this fucking guy had it figured out.
Wow.
Rolled it down his nose, because then it would bounce square and then go right into the fucking thing. That's
awesome.
Sweet.
I quit. So I'm not playing with this guy.
Yeah, beat the game.
It's fucking unbelievable.
That guy's a beast, yeah.
Hammer drunk, fucking somehow balancing this thing going, this cup right here. Tink.
His nose low.
Big nose. It did get a lot of roll.
Sure.
I thought he was an Italian descent. No, it could have been German as well.
See what you did there, yeah.
Could have been German as well. I mean, let's not get too outlandish here. Could have been a hawker. Shit, look at that. I mean, he could have got a wide runway there, you know?
I can do it.
Half
I'll try it
dollar
next
down
time.
that thing.
Definitely try it next time.
It worked, though. You just got to get high enough. You got to have enough faith that it will actually, because people get scared to get too low.
Yep.
And then this jackass had all of us doing it, obviously. None of us could do it. Just kept him out. I fucking quit.
Good party trick.
Arch Manning is awesome. Arch Manning is everything you want your starting quarterback to be.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, Arch Manning's student ID was found after a night out. A lot of people were going, is this guy out of control? I said, is he with his teammates? That's all I care about. If he's out and about with his teammates doing college, I love everything about it. Then whenever he gets in the game, starts flexing, the boys go crazy. Arch Manning, beloved by the locker room. How beloved by the locker room? Well, you don't really know until you start seeing more. Invited to the cookout. Wingo had a camp. And Arch Manning obviously went, and this particular video here is making its rounds on the internet because Arch Manning, I believe, is welcome anywhere, I believe is what is being said. And the fact that Arch Manning went to this, took time out of his life to be part of a camp, be a part of a community, be part of a family, and also say, yeah, this is my fucking teammate right here. That'll go a long way for the entire locker room. Love everything out of Arch Manning. As somebody that has maybe been, you know, I've been at barbecues. I've also been lucky to be at a couple cookouts. I've also been potentially the only Caucasian in a few mile radius at a couple different events. That is a wonderful thing. This is a part of why football is so damn great. Everybody talks about the football locker room being what it is, and we wish the world was more like the locker room. It's because everybody comes together from all different walks of life. Arch Manning obviously comes from a very good part of Louisiana. Now he's getting a chance to experience his teammates' homes. And whenever you experience your teammates' home, you learn more about them. You learn more about them as people, why they are the way they are, and you build a better team. Arch Manning, being a leader doing these types of shit is a beautiful thing. Look out for Texas, obviously, forever in this NIL age, but certainly with Arch Manning at the helm.
Like you mentioned, it's been a quarterback. What teammate was this? You know?
I believe Wingo.
Wingo, okay, dog. Yeah, young freshman last year, right? So, yeah, this, like you said, connecting, spending time. What movie? It was Draft Day when they talked about, hey, nobody showed up.
Bo Callahan.
Bo Callahan, nobody showed up to the quarterback's party or whatnot. That's a real thing. You know, clicking, hanging with your teammates, spending time off the field, whether it's camps, whether it's, whether it's going to cookouts. This is dope to see from Arch. And I'm excited to see him, too, at Texas, really, taking over at the helm and when he'll come out and actually enter the NFL.
This is one of those things where, having your uncles be Hall of Fame quarterbacks is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because Peyton was very good at team, having beers, being a robot, somehow being who he is. He's the head coach. He's a quarterback. He's a general manager. He's a fucking owner if he wants to be in this entire thing. But also he's a teammate. He invited me, new punter, on a golf trip and paid for the entire thing immediately because he wanted, to build up a little chemistry with everybody. And I think Eli Manning, we saw videos of him playing flip cup, I think in some pickup bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about going out with the O-line, going out with the wide receivers, kind of building that rapport. That's a huge part of being the quarterback. That's a huge part of being a leader. And Arch Manning checking all the boxes, AJ, all of them.
Yeah, being a quarterback is at a big college like this is basically you're the franchise quarterback for an NFL team for a couple of years there. But you're right, you got to find a way to be. You got to be that leader, robot on the field, hold people accountable, but then also a human when you're not on the field and when you're in the locker room. So it's not an easy thing. Not everybody can do this.
Yeah, and it takes time, investment. That's an investment in time in these relationships.
Yeah, Kurt Warner, I think, talked about it when he was on the show, how he had to be really intentional about it because it's easy for a quarterback, especially you mentioned it, AJ, even on the college level now, to kind of be in your own silo, be in your own world. You always have to talk. You always kind of have to be the face of the franchise. When you go out, everybody recognizes you, so you are kind of living a different life in a sense. So the more that you can be one of the guys, I know walking into a locker room as a rookie in New England, the first thing you think is okay, what's it going to be like the first time I see Tom Brady? And then when he comes up to you, introduces himself, and has conversations with you, it's different. Aaron Rodgers showing up to his new teammates' events, it is different. It's something quarterbacks have to be intentional about, and it goes a long way.
Arch can.
He's got some wiggle.
He's got moves.
They are co-favorites with Ohio State to win the national championship, right in front of Georgia. Can we get the dims on the other kid to
his left?
Left?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be 6'8", 6'9".
Because Arch is 6'4", right? 6'4",
Arch, big dude. Yeah.
That guy might be 7 foot.
Yeah, obviously,
Jeez.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Sark already got a fucking $1 million offer out to this kid. I mean, he's gigantic.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
I mean, can he? I assume.
Yeah.
I
He's
assume
got
he
good
could.
feet.
He might
He's
be
got
40.
Could be. Yeah,
you're
could,
right.
yeah,
You're
Could be 40.
I'm not sure. All right, happy to see it.
Yeah.
That's team, baby. That's what football's all about. That's what sports are all about. Bringing people together. And that's what we try to do every day. Thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Sure. You got anything else to say about the temperature? We're gonna, Bailey's wearing a t-shirt as well. I don't know.
Look, I know I'm being kind of the poster boy of the, hey, let's make it a little warmer in here. I also know that I just echo the sentiments of everybody in here. But that's okay.
What about Bill? Bill's running a little hot these days. He's doing
Bill, tell us the truth, Bill.
Yeah, Bill runs hot because he usually smothers himself in human blood before he comes in here. But I'm saying
he's eating 5,000 calorie lunches.
That as well.
Taking so much TRT, it's coming out of his ears.
I would rather it be this temperature.
Anything else?
What's the word we learned? He bifurcated fuck.
Bifurcate. 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 Can't wait to use that. Jet was so proud of himself.
Yeah, he was.
We'll up it to 68 here.
Does it not already? It feels like it's gotten warmer in here.
Thank you. This is how it's been all day. It's been pretty good, I thought.
Don't up it. I'm telling you, do not up it.
Well, why wouldn't I? I don't like seeing you upset.
Your little feetsies are cold.
See?
Tootsies.
Yeah, Tootsies, you doucher.
This is part of leadership. I'd like to see you comfortable.
I am very comfortable.
Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
I'm very comfortable.
We will get this thing to 69. Maybe a double. Maybe a two for
No, can't go too hot.
Oh,
Can't go too hot.
Don't get crazy.
This is bad.
Get a little foot heater in there, like a little thing you could tuck your feet into underneath the table.
When Foxy had his little hand warmer thing underneath his shit, that was a moment for me. I was like, I didn't know this existed.
It was necessary.
Back then, that's when I was like, I can wear a fucking t-shirt. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not cold. But I've gotten to the point where it's like, why wouldn't I just put a fucking jacket on? I can do that too.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not scared to dress warm. Ohio State, Tennessee, that was very much we're not beating this.
Yeah.
Will Howard actually came out, and I think he talked to Gruden. I think it was Gruden, he said. Whenever the Tennessee guys came out shirtless, he was like, we got them. These people think it's a fucking game out here.
Yeah.
Like this is not a game. This is very cold.
Yeah.
Even if you're from the South trying to prove that you're not cold, this is a... scientifically, I think they would deem this as dangerously cold.
Yes.
Cold frame.
Is how this would be here. You know, there's levels to it. 67 degrees, I think 68 is probably the right degree. I think 68 is probably the right temperature.
I agree.
If this goes in, Conrad, which
Pacers will win them on Thursday.
it's a lot of pressure. It's the first shot. I had big morning.
You going to that one too?
No. It's way too far. Are you saying that's what it should be for the Pacers universe?
I
Paul?
mean, I just thought you were going Caitlyn Clark over there.
Doesn't really matter either
How
way.
about her just fucking pulling up?
That's ridiculous. That shit is unreal.
Awesome.
20.8 million.
The ball was right yesterday.
Yeah, that's so many people.
Okay, everybody relax.
The same
What's
as college football playoff.
Yeah, they got more viewers on that game than the college football.
The internet right now is a wild place. Okay, you can see a lot of things. Grok can make a lot of things for you.
Sure.
Grok's not the only one. Grok very good.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, I think, is obviously phenomenal. This thing, super duper AI now is getting something.
That's my favorite one.
The super duper AI.
Yeah, the one.
600 mil.
Contract.
I know why.
What's this for?
I don't know. The ball was right yesterday, so whatever you put it in for us.
Yeah, you said Oklahoma City to cover by a lot if this ball goes in. What's this for? Is this for 60?
Pacers in 7.
ESPN's third most watched NBA game ever happened on Saturday. 2.2 million average viewers, had a peak of 2.8 million. That is up 76% versus last year's WNBA on ABC regular season average. And that's only because they didn't have Caitlyn Clark on every single week on WNBA on ABC. 2.2 million is huge, especially going up against the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Going up against the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Once again, the needle mover that is Caitlyn Clark continues to be as advertised.
Could have swore it was 22 million.
20.8.
20.8. They accidentally added a zero. To
There was
the
a
peak.
fake. There was a fake report.
Oh.
From a parody account that said 20.8, and some people got excited and was hoping it was true. I was hoping it was true too.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Some very legit places though were reporting.
Just ran with it.
Oh, of course. journalism.
Well,
once again,
the internet can get you these days.
That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot, though. You'd have to really dig into that.
Yeah, but if you think about if you were on your phone at the time, Caitlyn Clark, 9 points, 12 seconds. It was like,
you're right.
bump, 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 bump. Her pushing B-Stew.
Yep.
The coach in the back. Like, it was all, it took over there for a little bit with the U.S. Open happening, and it was kind of taking over all the conversation.
U.S. Open numbers dropped.
Yeah, down to 5 point, whatever, rain delay, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a fucking idiot to think that this went up to 20.8 million. Okay,
What?
let's just settle that. All right, because I do agree it takes over, but that's more than all the finals games. That's more than all of the World Series games.
One day it'll get up to 20.8 million if Caitlyn keeps doing that.
No doubt.
Caitlyn keeps doing that, gets to the finals. You know, she's
exactly
now, Angel Reese would be a great counterpart to Caitlyn Clark. Now, granted, I think Paige Bucket's got 30-some points, but her team stinks, right? That's what they're saying.
So bad.
Kelsey Plum just won absolutely ape shit for LA. I think she had a 30-plus point game, but I don't know if they're good. Las Vegas, obviously, we assume is always going to be good. New York, reigning champ.
Yep.
Minnesota,
The Valkyries.
but they're going to have to get something to get to that number.
Golden State.
Are they playing this year?
Oh, yeah, expansion team.
Where have you been?
NBA Finals. Once the NBA's done, then I go over to.
The guy that was standing next to Archie is 6'7" freshman Nick Brooks from Loganville, Georgia. 6'7", 348 freshman from Grayson High School. When I say Nick Brooks looks like he is 14 feet tall, I think
freshman.
I think that's an accurate assessment. Freshman. Got him out of Georgia too. That Texas money.
Four-star out of Georgia.
Have you heard about these buyouts and shit that they're doing now?
Yeah, so if you leave, right, who has to pay for it? The school that initially brought you in?
I appreciate Amanda Kristovich on her reporting here about schools including buyout clauses in their contracts for revenue sharing with players at the college level, especially in football. But immediately upon reading it, I just saw a way to game this thing. So I don't know if we have enough information at this point.
Right.
Teams can negotiate buyout clauses up to a certain amount of money for other teams to have to pay if they want to get a player to transfer from their school to the next. The way this is worded, and I might be reading it wrong, I don't have the greatest reading comprehension, especially for these types of long form writing things. But she basically said if you offer somebody a $100,000 scholarship and offer them $50,000 at the beginning of the school year, $50,000 at the end of the school year, and after the season you don't make it to the end of the school year, which is April, May or whatever, you decide to transfer to another school, that other school would have to pay the $100,000 total contract back to the school, even though they only paid $50,000, and that $100,000 could go towards the 20 point whatever million to fill the revenue thing to get to the max revenue share. Feels like that would be counterproductive because teams would make money off of players only being there for one semester. I don't know. I might be reading it wrong.
Yeah, this is more so like a brainstorming session.
Feels like that.
And this is one of the things that they have brainstormed as like a step one. Could this possibly work?
Buyouts should be a part of these.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how do the buyouts work would have to be something that's accomplished. Buyouts happen in a lot of other places, a lot of other sports. In theory, good idea. But whenever you talk about college athletics right now, how is the proper buyout in there? I guess that is TBD. Somebody will figure it out and then everybody will just, we're just doing that. Bang. Which is good for the revenue share. Hasn't really figured out the NIL got to approve this deal thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, AJ. I don't know.
They have to be coming up with a plan. And did they say it's within 45 days, I guess, to go up to approve a deal or not?
The commission, they're creating a commission that'll be voting on this. And Seeley, is that his name?
Yeah.
Mr. Seeley from MLB will be the one that'll be heading up the commission that'll be approving these deals. Or I don't know how you say one isn't good. If a company wants to give somebody a certain amount of money, I don't know how you say it's not good. I don't know how that works. But I'm sure they have it figured out.
Sheriff figured
Maybe they're
it out.
just making sure they're not legit, but like you can't sign a
I think
deal.
I saw Diego Pavia was on Bustin' with the Boys, and he said that school in the SEC offered him $4 to $4.5 million to leave Vandy.
Yep.
So was that an NIL deal? Was that part of this revenue share projection? Like, what was that deal from? And if it was an NIL ad deal from a sponsor or a booster, how does the commission turn that down if that company says, all I need is one post from you to say that you love this, and it's $4.5 million. I don't know.
I know that anything prior to July 1st is just the old school, not old school, like the last few years, NIL deal. And then after July 1st is when I think the commission goes in. But maybe they're like enforcing it, like, hey, if you're getting paid, $1 million to do 10 appearances for this company, that you have to do those 10 appearances or maybe something like that. Who knows? But they're not going to be able to do anything like you said.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news out of the Kansas City Chiefs mandatory minicamp. From Cons to Kansas City.
Oh.
Travis Kelce is on the field, looking slimmer, fitter, faster, and better than ever. Travis Kelce obviously was shaking hands over at the Cannes Film Festival with his brother Jason. They looked immaculate. I'm sure they told great stories. Had the crowd in the palm of their hands. Now he is back to work at mandatory minicamp. And I'm excited to see what he is this year. I'm excited to see what this Chiefs team is this year. And I'm excited to see how they respond after, they make it to the Super Bowl, which is an incredibly difficult task. They become the AFC champions, and then they get blown out in front of the largest audience of the year. How will Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and that entire team respond? Today's first day to really get a chance to see. Travis Kelce looks good, AJ. Travis Kelce looks good.
Looks good with his added height. Do we know that he's added 3 or 4 inches of height over the last, 4 months, I would say?
Oh, now he's running some routes. I'm getting good out of his break. Quick out.
Let's see.
Oh!
That's
Yeah,
good.
give me that. No gloves.
Come back to the ball. Good catch.
Look at Spry. Look at the knees and the ankles going high. Wow. You're looking very thin. That is a good route.
Maybe WWE superstar Jackie Redmond was correct then about her source that they'll be in attendance tonight for the Stanley Cup Game 6.
You know what? Just stay up in Kansas City. Keep on grinding it out.
Yeah, Jackie Redmond said she had a good source that said that their Travis and Taylor might be at tonight's Stanley Cup Finals game. And then she said that has changed from a good source to just a source. She said, let's make sure this is understood. My good source has just become a source. Okay, we are not 100% sure anymore. Oh my God. Jackie was great on the show yesterday.
She was.
Wait, why does the D-Butt want Travis in?
Yeah, why not?
I'm a superstitious guy, especially when it comes to hockey. So no Dolphins players on the drum,
which we've heard is not the case. Anyways,
and, these are obviously big time celebs with Travis and Taylor, and they showed up and we didn't win. So just watch from distance.
You think they were a little bit distracted tonight on the drum? Luongo.
Oh, bobble.
Great news. You know what's even better news? Guess who's back between the pipes for the Oilers?
Who's that?
Stu Skinner.
Okay, so we thought there was a chance Stu Skinner was going to get tonight a nice game rest, maybe a reset. Let's see how Pickard does. Pickard loses 4-1, 5-2. Stu Skin comes back in the game. Go with the one that got you there, is what the Oilers are thinking.
Okay.
And maybe Stu was able to do some of the boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-da brain stuff.
Yeah.
And he's going to be back seeing the puck. There's a chance that's the case.
Hey, is this normal? Sorry about that. Is this normal, though, in a Stanley Cup Finals to rotate your goalies like this?
In the playoffs, I don't know about the Stanley Cup Finals because normally guys get hot, start standing on their head by the time they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. But very normal during the playoffs for teams to rotate their goalie and find who's the hot hand. That's like the big thing. Who's the hot hand? Who's the hot hand? Bobrovsky's been hot for like 10 years, whatever the case is. Up there in Edmonton, Stu had got him here. Nobody was talking about Stu being the best goalie in the entire league, but he definitely was the goalie that got him to the finals back-to-back years. And then he goes ice cold. They put Pickard in. He doesn't win, even though he gave up some great goals. Go back to Stu. It's like they're just trying to figure out who's hot. I don't know if there's science behind it. Nick, there isn't really a rhyme or reason, right? They're just trying to figure out who's hot right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Especially in a case like this where, Stuart Skinner's a great goaltender, but, he's not a number one on most teams in the league, whereas Bob is pretty much a number one goaltender on almost any team in the league. So when you have a situation where Stu plays great through all the rounds to get you there, but then falters a little bit, it's like, okay, let's give Pickard a chance, rally the boys a little bit, and it worked in one game when you saw they had the Yanks Stu and Pickard came in, it kind of sparked the boys. And then the next game when Pickard got the start, didn't work so good. So now you're kind of trying the same thing. Hey, let's go back to Stu and see if he can refine his game, recapture that magic, and reinvigorate everyone in front of him.
You said you're happy Stu's in that? You guys just hung 5 goals on the Edmonton Oilers last game. One of them an empty netter, obviously, but feels like it doesn't matter who's standing in the net.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a hockey savant, but the mental, I would think you have to be mentally fucked at this point with your own confidence if you're in there, especially with how Marshall's playing, how Bennett's playing, Rhino, Swaggy, you know, how they've been putting pucks on net. I would think if you don't have the confidence in your coach and probably even your teammates, now they got to this point back-to-back years, so they're definitely talented. But I was just thinking from a player standpoint, like, shit. Fuck, man. These guys don't believe in me.
Tonight, 8 p.m. on very normal for a goalie to pull.
But it's normal. I guess it's normal hockey.
It's not good.
No, not at all.
It's not good.
I mean, it was tough going in knowing, hey, if I give up a goal early, is he yanking me right away?
Yeah, the short leash conversation will be the entire lead-up convo tonight on TNT, if I had to guess. They have a great crew over there at TNT. I love the way they've assembled their hockey coverage and everything that they do, the vibe in which they cover the sport. Tonight, 8 p.m. on TNT. Kachuk and the boys try to win their second Stanley Cup in a row. Back-to-back, a dynasty brewing. Lordo is in the building. Old Harold? Howard.
Howie
from the NHL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Is traveling alongside Lordo, we assume, who'll be on display this evening. Will Lordo be raised over the head of Kachuk, Marshy, Bennett, Bobrovsky, Coach Mo, and the Florida Panthers tonight as beers just get guzzled from the elbow room? Is that happening tonight in South Florida?
One more, boys.
There's a chance.
For sure.
Who do you got tonight?
Edmonton.
AJ, who do you like tonight?
I like the Florida Panthers.
D-Butch?
Going with the Cats, you know it.
Ty?
I like the Oilers as well.
Whoa.
Really?
They're down 3-0 last year.
Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. What's the betting saying for you, bub?
I had Oilers at 7 before the series started. I'm going to stick to it.
Jeez.
3-3. Look at us.
I did not expect that.
Man.
Foxy, you're from a town that used to have hockey.
Yeah, give me the Oilers. I'm just realizing right now at this moment, sports are almost dead, so we need to extend this thing.
Bingo. Zito, who do you like?
Panthers, baby.
I like that. Panthers have been very good to us. Nick, who do you like?
I'm going to take Oilers to push it to 7.
I like that for the good of sports, for the good of the program, for the good of hockey. And our Canadian lad, soccer fan, hockey fan, Gumpy, who do you like?
It's over. Cats.
He's anti-Oilers, though.
Big time.
Hates them.
Canadian. You don't want Canada to get one?
Not the Oilers.
Anybody but
Love
the
that.
Oilers, is what he said.
They knocked us out.
Jackie was like anybody from Canada.
Yeah.
Yes, all of Canada has rallied around the Edmonton Oilers.
Sam Bennett's fucking legend. He's on the Panthers, you know. There's Canadians everywhere.
True.
There are Canadians everywhere. There aren't Americans everywhere, though. What's going on? These soccer games.
20,000 or more at every game so far.
What? That's not what I saw.
You don't see that?
Oh, you mean like what's going on with the fans? I think it's one of these things where it's like no one gives a fuck. But I don't know. That might just be what
I think you might be onto something.
That might just be optics.
It's regional.
I'm not
What?
sure.
Did you see the U.S. men's national team?
Yeah, it was a good
I'm
turnout.
They had 25. You're out?
Yeah, I think I'm Spanish.
Have you blocked it on the algorithm? How'd you not see the photo?
I didn't have to.
I think I'm
found it mine.
Spanish.
Doesn't pop up.
Soccer. It's back in your algo.
I locked my phone in the box.
The men's soccer, U.S. men's soccer team might be finding something here. They might be in the middle of actually.
Maybe in the
I
middle
hope
of
they do.
having one.
They might be.
Or at least thinking about having one.
Because there's a chance we got a new attitude, and with this new attitude, there's a chance that we
Maybe have one.
actually.
Yeah, actually think about having one. The only thing for me is, I think Connor mentioned this the other day, is I don't think we're going to be able to play Trinidad and Tobago and Saudi Arabia and butt fuck for every game that
East
we play.
butt fuck, West,
yeah.
Saudi's a perennial World Cup squad.
Guam too. We played them.
Guam, yeah, they fucking gave us 90 minutes of hell. All these other teams that we should
Guam
routinely
did?
beat
Greenland.
the shit out of. Until we start really, having one, think about having one. I'm just not seeing it.
These games, these World Super Duper World Cup club things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, nobody cares.
Miami was packed again last night.
Okay, Miami, Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl will be packed again tonight for Inter Milan.
Well, they were giving away tickets.
Whatever game was at MetLife, today before we started the show. I mean, this is no hyperbole. There were 150 people there.
Not 150,000.
No.
At MetLife.
Who's
too.
playing?
Who cares? And fucking Google it, I think.
It was Dortmund and Fluminense.
Yeah, Fluminense was on the pitch.
It looks kind of crowded.
Those are not people. Those are seats.
Yeah, they kind of color the seats so it looks like people.
It's not a bad idea. So what's going on, Gumps? Nobody cares? Why
are they playing such a big stadium, though?
Yeah, and why are they having these teams that don't have a fan base in the United States of America playing in these places?
Because it's like a warm-up for the World Cup. Like, these are the stadiums they're going to be using for the World Cup.
Smart idea. So let's
Yeah.
put a $100 million tournament in here to see if anybody can operate it. Are we worried that people won't show up for the World Cup games?
World Cup will be cranked no matter what. Always is, no matter where it is.
Okay, from people not from America.
Yeah.
It
People
will be
here.
But this isn't passing the Stafford stress test, if that's what they're trying to do.
Even people from America. I mean, no one has ever heard of whatever tournament is going on right now.
It's the first time. It's a $100 million classic.
World Cup is the World Cup.
What were you saying, though, about the Stafford?
I said Stafford. I meant the John Taffer stress test. You know, when they fill up the bar big time,
Sure.
so that when they open on night one, they know, like, hey, you guys are going to get fucking
Shut it
pounded.
down!
Exactly. I mean, we got 150 people going at this, and then all of a sudden 150,000 are going to show up for the World Cup. These workers are not going to know what to do.
Well, you were down there in Miami. How was it? How was the process? Pretty good? Easy in, easy out?
No, it was a bit of chaos. Went through about 2 things before they looked at tickets. Or I didn't really know what the first 2 entry points were for exactly, but we went through them. Then we got swiped for tickets, and then it was a bit of a mess getting out, but they'll figure it out.
Oh, and that's big too because Miami's the only place in the entire country that's gone through like one of the crazy games with Argentina, Colombia. So if they still don't have it down, then
Well, at least nobody's climbing through the AC ducts.
yeah, well, that's just that.
People are dropping into kitchens in the stadium.
How much they love the game.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful game.
We'll see if they show up.
What do you mean by they?
I think
Fans.
talking about the fans.
Argentina and Colombia, yeah, not America.
No, because Gumpy would have crawled through those AC ducts to watch Lou Messi do his thing alongside the CONCAFA boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Going to another match on Saturday in Cincinnati.
You are?
Yeah.
How many tickets you buying?
Just one.
Why don't you buy a few? Give them away.
I mean,
CONCAFA watch party.
Yeah, for sure.
Bailey will definitely go. He was over there for the 10-0 Super Spank.
Yeah.
Of the Auckland boys got Super Spanked.
By Bayern.
Did you see that?
I did not.
10-0.
Damn.
Soccer.
Is that a mercy rule? Running clock, something.
Should have had the tournament.
Nobody knows the clock.
It's already running. Not fast enough.
We just need more TSTs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bingo.
If this goes in, what happens? Panthers win tonight? No, Oilers win tonight.
No, because you're Panthers.
I haven't given Mike.
You said Panthers.
I might be changing with how everybody else is feeling. I would like maybe 7 games. It's for the Oilers.
Okay.
It's for you.
No, for Arkansas baseball.
No. We just met Gage. We don't need to do that just yet.
Gage is a good kid.
He's a good lad.
Gage Wood.
No fried foods.
Well,
Acai
he
bowls.
said I don't eat fried foods 5 days before start. They basically start every 5 to 6 days. So I was like, oh, you never eat fried food.
And that's what he followed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird though with college because I saw his record's only like 5-1.
He was hurt for a big chunk of this year.
Yeah, so he ate a fuck ton of McDonald's before he came back.
McDonald's is so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy.
Chick-fil-A, they'll show up for you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How does he not have a Chick-fil-A fried chicken sandwich?
I don't know. Don't get grilled.
He
one.
does.
Why is that?
That's what I got.
When?
The other day when I was fucking pooping and puking.
Oh,
at the same
you
time.
think that gimmick?
From the E.
Yeah, it
coli.
was definitely the grilled chicken sandwich.
It was. I didn't eat anything else. Oh, I guess it could have been the sweet food and the Pacers, but I don't want to. You know, they're already having a tough time. We don't need to do that.
No need to pile on.
Those tater skins were delightful.
Hey, the Pacers suite has good food. They've had good. It's been a good spread. Not too much, not too little. We'll be there Thursday night. I will be abstaining from the microphone, even if asked again.
Really?
Yeah. Don't need it. We lost.
It's time these boys get it done
What are
on
you
their
like?
own.
2-1?
Yeah, it's
What?
1. Well, I think
a winner,
if
right?
you were to go back to whenever I cranked it last year.
Yeah, rev the engine.
Right.
I missed the engine.
Oh, with Dale Davis?
Yeah.
No, but did you talk? Did you cut a promo?
I basically said, let's go. I mean, was I speaking? Probably. If I'm doing something, there's probably a little
Where'd the engine go?
Huh?
They ain't revving the engine no more?
I think they said this is probably not it. Yeah. And they were right. It's for Oilers.
Here we go.
Good luck to the Oilers.
Oh. Suck it.
It looked real good.
All right, this is for the Panthers.
No. We
Oh, no.
Oh.
Air
Looks like the
ball.
Oilers are going to win.
It's for overtime Oilers.
Oh, yeah.
There
wow, OT game tonight.
I'll take
Game
OT,
7.
man.
No,
OT
Martian
Oilers.
Oilers.
I just heard OT. Take a OT.
Let's just make sure it's not.
Marshy goal.
Here's overtime Panthers.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Okay.
Two goals
Double
either way.
overtime. Double overtime. Double overtime.
Can't believe we're
Got the
going
YouTube
double
TV
overtime.
ball.
All right.
That's how this series should go.
Double overtime Oilers.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, that looked good.
It did.
Double overtime Panthers.
This looks better.
Oh. We'll
Could
never
be a
know.
good game
We're gonna have to
tonight.
watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna have to watch. We will do that. Thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Great work, AJ. Great work in the back. Graphic design boys, really good. Really good stuff today.
Well done, man.
Boy.
Talk, way to go, buddy. Proud of you. Mitt still preparing for his Love Island audition. Hopefully that comes sooner than later. D-Butch, great to see you. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Team.
Goodbye.